Hey y'all. We're gonna do the regular intro with the second live, which is gonna be the normal live we have scheduled for today. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I was in the truck going to check the mail and my alarm went off to say it was 1:15. I've been working on a video with the Sarah Boone jail records. And I have 3 minutes left of it to edit and then I'll get that out. It's only from August to October right now. But I have more, and if y'all want them out, I will get them out. Let me say hey to y'all real quick. So yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the Sarah Boone sentencing live, and then we will go into our live. I'm gonna shut this live down, and we'll go into the one I had scheduled already. Hey Zio and Pinto and Jenny Jen and Tiana and Bad Girl and Cara and Period Point Blank. Hello. Thank you all for being here today. So this isn't ready yet. Let's see. We'll see what Court TV has going on for Sarah Boone real quick. We could watch hold on just a bit. Let's look at we can look at this real quick and start it at least until
I've obviously
until they go live with the
correct. She has walked out of the last.
Well, I apologize. We will watch this until they go live with the sentencing at 1:30 in about 10 minutes. So we'll watch about 10 minutes of this, and then they will go live at 1:30, and we will watch it together. Snow will be on its way here too, from what I heard.
2 visits when I've tried to review things with her, just so the court knows.
This is from Court TV, and it's titled, Please Be Nice to Me. Sarah Boone complains about 8th attorney. I don't know why you can't see anything, Bad Girl. Try to refresh your YouTube. Okay. All right, Cara. Thank you for being here, love.
I've spent probably 20 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less, with Miss Boone. She has lots of lists, lots of questions. In reviewing the court file, she was distressed previously about having access to her lawyers. I have taken collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JAC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access. I have spent.
Hang on, please. No one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
As I said, I've spent over 20 hours going through her questions, going through her lists. When I tried to update her with regard to the depositions that I took recently, she opted to exit the jail conference. When I tried to review some things with regard to discovery as to things I wanted to make sure she was aware of, she walked out. She has asked me repeatedly for a copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the
I'm here, and I'm just kind of letting this play. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cara. I'm just letting this play while I edit the last minute of this video, and I'm hoping to start it uploading while we watch for the live stream. Court TV is going to have it live at 1:30 exactly, so I figured we would watch a little bit of Sarah Boone, and then we will watch the sentencing live and react together. Where is my lovely Abellis? We're summoning you, Abellis.
Previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously. She'd reviewed them with previous attorneys. I sent her a new copy. Some of the things that she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, her hips I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client. I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point, we're at that impasse of if she walks out of every conference that I have with her, I'm not sure what that says about the attorney-client relationship.
Ma'am, you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal or letter. What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
It's things that I've been working on in the meantime. It's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to, in quotes, put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I, being in jail, has supposedly abundant amounts of. She's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me.
Hey, Content Angel. Oh, sorry. Hey, Content Angel, and thank you so much for being here, love. What is going on? Oh, I was like, who are you fussing at, Zaya? What did they do? I got it now.
And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to myself because she refuses to do so. I don't understand what it is that she has against me. I have told her from day one that her snotty attitude was inappropriate, and I try very hard to bear with her and her attitude. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong to her, but I feel that her attitude has equal prejudice, which is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly representing my life.
Okay. Give me an example of, if you could, of items that you believe are important Ms. Cashman is not giving attention to or dismissing as you may have framed it.
Yes, Your Honor. She likes to tell me that I don't like her answers. She's not giving me any answers to this. I've written 3 pages worth of questions, but I'm still waiting for her and any other attorney to actually answer for me, such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have my medical records? Why can't I fully utilize my constitutional rights? There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very
She has acted a fool in jail too. Like, I only read through in this video that I'm going to try to be uploading while we're finishing this. I only did September and October, and she had so many times that they spoke to her. And like, what she doesn't realize is that if she's ever up for parole or anything like that, all these bad documents, like, you know, the notations, the negative reports, as they are called, are going to be held against her. She's got an attitude problem. She acts a fool, like, and I'm going to go back, and because I have from the day she was booked all the way up to October 31st of this year, I'm going to submit another request to get from October 31st through the trial, and because part of the trial's in this. And then I'll have to make a video going all the way back from her booking date up to September of this year, because the video that's going to come out today is just September through October 31st. But it's interesting. Yeah, she's going to catch a few fresh ones. She got a mouth on her, as we all know.
serious about having a fair trial at this point. There are a handful of other amendments that I have been researching and working on or trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious, and apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place that I received correspondence. They obviously see the same thing. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out, and I believe that God obviously believes in me as much as I do him in order to give me this very unique adventure.
Hey, Shaboogies, and thank you for being here.
That I am on, and I'm doing my best to let everyone know who I really am, as opposed to the malicious murderer that everyone thinks that I am.
Oh, we know who you are, ma'am.
I don't feel that she can do that properly. I still always the reason why I'm here is hope. Is to hope that she will come in with a gentle, softer side and actually listen to what it is that I'm saying and see the bigger picture other than what the one avenue that she.
I'm gonna pause this here. Let me see how long she's talking. Yeah, she talks for another minute. We'll listen to the rest of what she has to say.
Keeps going down. There's other ways to win and more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me and have a welcoming attitude, and things will probably change, and I will not get up and I walk out. Please don't lie to me. Please don't give me half-truths. And
What instances where there's been falsities or lies that have been told to you by Ms. Cashman? Can you give me an example?
my biggest one, Your Honor, is for me being here ongoing 5 years, no one has ever bothered to try to get me a bond.
What's the lie? You said that she has lied to you. What is the lie?
The process of getting a bond. She lied to my brother in regards to telling him that he would need to come down to the courthouse to have multiple photographs taken for documentation. He would have to bring the security information, deeds to his house.
Oh my, there's so.
Yeah, I'm with you, honey. Oh my. Let me see if Court TV is live with the sentencing yet. If not, we're going to watch something from Zio. We're going to watch it at some point on this live, and I'll just have to cut it out of the replay. The notification's on, but it's not live yet. Hopefully, I can watch it real quick. Y'all, this is from Zio, who's in chat. I want y'all to see this real quick because I died. You can see the videos. Look at the video she has up. Like, please give her a like and subscribe. The Wade Wilson scandal that's about to break wide open. That looks interesting. Hopefully it'll bring up the channel. I'm trying to find a specific video. Yep. I want y'all to watch this because I watched this like 7 times and laughed for hours. It'll be cut out of the replay because of a copyright issue with the music, but this is it. So y'all come check out the lovely Zio Sandra Firelight and watch this short right here. Y'all, I died.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, whoever I keep them.
That is so funny.
It's only right
Oh my God.
to lay the way you feel. Listen carefully to the sound of the Lord.
That is so funny to me. Oh my God. Okay. All right, we'll go to Court TV. I'm just going to turn it on, and that way we'll be already here at 1:30. Y'all, this woman is crazy. She had a laptop for her because she was trying to represent herself, as we all know. Oh, it won't let me make it live yet or big yet. What do y'all think her sentence is going to be? Do you think, or let me know what y'all think her sentence is going to be in the live stream. Am I on? Hola, my lordy. Trying to get this video started uploading real quick. You think, okay, I thought she might get away with it, says Shaboogies. To be honest, because she really was abused. Shaboogie says life without parole. Life with parole because of the abuse. Bad Girl says she's getting the max. So it's 1:31 right now. I'm just waiting because I don't want us to miss when it starts. Am I? Oh, no, I thought my phone had upload, had me on, like, both of my StreamYards were on. Thank you. Sarah says life with. Hey, Sarah. Thank you for being here. Life with the possibility of parole. Thank you for being here, Sarah Lee. Zio says Boone faces a minimum of 16 years to life. Tiana said, I hope it's a long sentence. I didn't say for you to go away. She did George wrong, and all he wanted was her company. All that is sad and very true. Shabugi says, no way with the national attention this judge gives anything less than life is my guess. You know, she's either at the jail or stalling in transport or something, but she's definitely stalling. Yeah, probably. She probably is stalling. She acts a fool. Zio said, had she taken the plea, she would have been out in 7, right? With a question mark. I'm not sure. And then Tiana says, while I agree with you on some point, he did have some charges brought against him with domestic violence towards her, but he didn't deserve what she did. Yeah. She's been like where she was representing herself. She had the laptop and was going through stuff. She gets snappy with the guards and stuff. She just is something else, but I don't know. I mean, judging by the way she's acted, I don't know why I expected any different. Okay, so I'm going to get this started uploading, and hopefully it'll be out while we're on our second live later. Shabugi says she would have been a hell of a time at the bar in her 20s, though. She damn sure would have. Hey, Sarah. Thank you for being here. Serena. Jenny says, I say life without parole out of the mockery she really tried to make. Yeah. Yep. So we're at 1:34. They're 5 minutes late. Like, I don't want to go play anything else because I don't want us to miss anything. You know what? I can't. Well, no, I can't leave. I don't want to leave the page. She, anyway, I'll tell you, she was putting staples in her uniform in jail and like had to be told twice not to do it. From what I read, just in September and October, she got in an argument with her lawyer. Her lawyer was actually hollering at her, and like they had to make notation of that. She'd been passing notes. She'd been getting snappy. She is something. She'd have you in a fist fight within an hour. She would. She absolutely would. She's definitely a Karen. Like, she thinks she's smarter than everyone in the room. I don't know how anybody could be in a relationship with her because she just doesn't, it doesn't seem like she would be the type to, okay, it says Court TV. I just got the notification Court TV is live. Okay. No. Hopefully it just refreshed. Okay, so they are live now. Basil is eating pretzels. Zio, I FOIA'd the jail records. So I have all the jail records. I didn't FOIA everything else. And I'm going to put them in the Discord too. I've just got to figure out how to upload documents in there because I need to put all of the stuff from Madeline in there as well. I want you to go full screen. Like, why aren't you going full screen? Hopefully it will. I swear she reminds me so much of Jodi Arias. Yeah, she does. She absolutely does. Prison awaits her. She's in for a reality check. She is. I don't think them girls are going to be dealing with her mess like people have in regular county. If I'm being honest, I don't think that they're going to deal with her mess at all. She is just so nasty, Tiana. She really is. Let me try to refresh again. Yeah, it's just still on this. Oh, it did go full screen though. So we're waiting. It is not hard, Shaboogies, to FOIA. You just you have to put your name and your address, and you have to state what information you want and what your intention is in using the information. Like, I always state that it's for educational purposes that I want the information. I want to try to FOIA Delphi Shaboogies, but I don't know that they would give me any information because that case is just so like corrupt in my opinion. And I think that it's going to be hard to get them to release anything to the public. Like we were trying to look into sending Richard Allen, letters or whatever. People were wanting to send him letters to know that he was being supported. And you can't even do that because they have him on suicide watch. So therefore they're saying that you can't send him letters or anything. Like, it really sucks. They're just being horrible there. Sarah Boone would make a preacher cuss. Bad girl. So they're watching because they're highlighting messages. She's acting a damn fool. That's what's going on. She's acting a fool. Sarah Lee said they will put her in solitary when she first gets to prison until things kind of cool down. And she's not a, quote, celebrity. Yeah. Sarah said, I heard the gag order for Delphi will be lifted around Christmas. Oh, thank you for that information, because I definitely want to FOIA that. Content said, oh my God, she's unfortunate looking. You ought to see some of the ones I got. I've got to make the thumbnail at some point while this video is uploading. But I've got a funny picture of hers. December 20th, said Bad Girl, as far as the FOIA for Delphi, or the gag order for Delphi. Thank you for that. Her own arrogance is what's going to do her in my opinion. It is. Her arrogance is astonishing. Her ego arrives 5 minutes before she does. Sarah Lee, you are correct. FOIAs can cost a lot of money, though. They can. And when you submit a FOIA, you need to ask, basically, do I need to pay anything? And if I do, please let me know what I need to pay before you send the information, so that if you have to pay money for it, you can. Shaboogie said, I wish the FBI would do their own private investigation of these Delphi people. I don't get it. I think they tried to, but the Delphi made them leave. But I mean, it seems like you could, they could override that. I can link you. I can drop the links, IO, but they're not doing anything yet. Is it on somewhere else? I'll drop the, let me check and make sure it's not on somewhere else, but I'll drop the link. Let me check Law and Crime, because it's Court TV. So if they're not live with it, I'm assuming they're not live in the courthouse. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, I got it on Law and Crime, but it's just showing the courtroom. But we'll go there. It's just showing the seal of Florida. So that's why Court TV doesn't have anything yet. Oh, hold on. Okay, you're on. I'm going to go to Law and Crime, but it's just showing the seal.
No, you're fine. I didn't mean it like that. I meant to stream dually. Like, I was going to start my channel. Oh, there they are.
Okay.
They just get to the courtroom.
Okay, cool. I don't know how to do it. Oh my gosh. I don't want that one. I want that one.
Let's see.
They need to investigate the investigators for sure, bad girl. Sarah Lee said, get ready to pay an arm and a leg for Delphi, though they're going to charge any of administrative processing fee that they want, and it's going to be through the roof. Yeah, they probably will. I did drop the link for anybody that wants to come in. I don't know if they can make their own fees or not. I think so. I think it goes county to county or state to state. Yeah, like a collab stream.
So I think on your side, I think you have to add. I think you have to allow my channel. There's like a unique little thing. I'm looking it up.
Okay. Guests can stream this to their own destinations. It says new. I turned it on.
There it is. I see you.
Oh,
Hey.
okay. Okay. Yay. What was I doing?
I'm just copying your.
Oh.
I'm just copying your
You're good.
tags.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing myself. I got the video. The court record's uploading. It says 12 minutes left. I'm gonna have to make a thumbnail in a minute. Yeah, she's acted a fool. I think that's why we're not live yet. Shaboogie says, well, I won't be for you anything. I'll leave that to the rich Delphi audience. If it costs too much, I won't be able to get it. I don't know that it necessarily matters if they can or can't legally. I'm pretty sure that they do regardless, and I would love to challenge it, but I was going up against New Orleans Police Department. Oh my goodness. What'd you have to go up against them for? I heard that some of those, some of the New Orleans police departments are corrupt, just like everywhere, really, but. Do you see it? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yay! Yeah, it's working fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Sarah Lee said they can't charge you more than it costs to copy the paperwork for you. They, for some stuff, like in the Madeline Soto case, I know Plunder and them paid a crap load for the immunity information for Jennifer Soto, and then after they paid for it, I got it for free. So, like, somebody can get it and pay an arm and leg for it, and it can come out on their channel, and then I can play it afterwards and have it for free, hopefully. Oh, no. What'd you do, Sarah? Oh, I'm sure they paid the person standing at the copy or something like $50 an hour. Yeah. Any FOIA request that comes back that is extremely expensive, like see if other creators would want to go in on it. That's what they're doing with the Stearns case. There's 3 going in on it. Yeah, because it's it's outrageously expensive. Yeah. Hey, Toxic Orchid. Yeah, they bought the immunity deal, and then I was able to get it for free after that, which was kind of cool. Yeah, we're live on both channels. Yay. How awesome. I love that we're on both channels.
That makes me happy. I'm like, oh look, I can do it. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal your thumbnail here shortly. Probably put my snack attack thumbnail.
This stuff is so funny. It makes me laugh so hard. I'm going to put this one back on the background so we can see the little Christmas stuff. I would not stop until a cold case detective who was on that show in the first 48. I wouldn't stop until he called me back or answer his phone. Oh, I've seen that show. I called upwards of 20 times a day and 10 times at night. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sarah said they were pissed at me then I went as publicity as I could and scolded them everywhere I could for the way they store their evidence down. Oh, bad girl
Girl, I'm
said, "Hey,
scared of you.
do what?"
I said, girl, I'm scared of you.
Yeah. Then they said they were working on resolving. So, what happened, Sarah Lee? When they said they were working on resolving the storage of evidence problem, I called them every day, several times a day, to see how that was going. And this went on for 6 months. What made you do all this? Like, what did you see that bothered you? To the point that you felt the need to do that. I want to know what Sarah Boone is doing to act a fool. She's almost 30 minutes late. I know she's acting a fool. After the, I'm gonna FOIA everything. Like, I might wait till tomorrow or the day after so I can get everything for like the like today and stuff to see what she's doing, because I know she's acting a damn fool. Oh, there
There they
she
go.
is.
There they go.
Here we go. And Sarah Lee said, it's a cold case I'm working on, but pretty much a teenager was unalived and laid out in a cemetery. No arrests, no suspects, and all physical evidence destroyed in Katrina because it's under sea level. Whoa. That's crazy, Sarah Lee. I hope you get everything you need. She is so extra. Hey, Lindsay.
I
Thank you for
literally,
being here.
she literally reminds me of a woman who smells like a Frito, like Frito chips. I'm sorry. But Lindsay
She
started
does.
it.
She does. Yep, Lindsay said, I know she smells. Yep.
She smells like a
I see she's
Frito.
adapted well. Yeah, she didn't even try to like fix her hair or anything. She does look like a Frito. I don't know how long it'll take her smile to be gone. And she does look like a Frito. I know Owens is like, God, I gotta be here with her again. Turn the volume all the way up. You know, content I heard somewhere that if your pet's paw smells like Fritos, it's some kind of yeast thing, and you should put I don't know what it is. There's something you should put on their paws because it's like a yeast thing. That's why they lick their paws so much if it smells like Fritos. Absolutely smells like stale Fritos. Yep.
Well, and we know, and there's his family. Oh, yeah, we know that she's not getting her commissary because her husband and her are going through this whole thing about the reason he hasn't sent her alimony. And if you go through her letters that she's going through this civil part with her ex-husband, those letters are horrible. Her son has been treating her like crap. They moved. She wasn't happy about it. He's been yelling and screaming at her on the phone, going, once you get sentenced, we're out of here. And I couldn't give a crap less about you. And she's not getting alimony because she's in prison. I mean, he just stopped sending it to her.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't think you could get alimony in prison. I don't know, because like I don't think you get disability benefits in prison, and that's straight from the government. But I'm not sure. Look
Mhm.
at her.
That's
I was,
she's got a girlfriend back there. That's her girlfriend, apparently.
oh,
Didn't you
interesting.
remember when she was testifying?
No, not offhand.
If he kept sending her alimony, which he did the first while she was in there, she got her alimony. But then he finally was just like, I'm not going to send it anymore. What is she going to do about it? So he stopped.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad.
she does. I read a letter somewhere. I'll have to find it so I have actual proof of what I'm saying to back it up. But allegedly, when she was on the stand, you could see her. She's just smiling at this person out in the gallery while she's trying to testify about how she was under such duress during her relationship with George, and she was staring at her girlfriend.
Wow. Yep,
She gross.
she is. Oh, content says yes, you can still get alimony in jail or prison, and cops get their pension in jail and prison. It's disgusting. Wow.
Oh,
Oh my
Sarah
gosh,
Lee, I'm sorry.
shaboogies.
What'd you say?
Oh
What did she say?
no, shaboogies. I'll show
Oh,
you. I put
gross.
it there. Sarah, I'm sorry, honey. No, you're good. I'm interested in the case. I'd like to see what you can pull on it. I appreciate you doing that too. She
Sarah, are
deserves
you in
justice.
our Discord so you can share some of that information with us? Are you able to do that? If I drop you the link to Discord?
Yeah.
Because I definitely would be interested in hearing more about it.
Mm-hmm. Um, that girl asked was she into women before she went to prison? I'm not sure.
She was into something. She was into that bar scene, so
Yeah. Jenny Jen says, "Oh my God, throw away the key." Yeah, Zio knows more about the Sarah Boone case. She followed it more closely than I do. Oh my God, Lindsay, you're
right,
so funny.
Lindsay. That's what I was thinking too. I don't think she had anything to do with women before, and if she did, it would have been very casual.
Yeah. Thank you for dropping the Discord.
Thank you for letting me.
Lindsay, you're so funny.
Uh oh.
Hold on. Why won't they turn the volume on? I want to hear what she's saying. Oh no, Sarah, I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Thank you. Tiana says we don't claim her. Sarah's going swimming at the Y.
My Jesus.
We gotta stop. I'm gonna get in trouble.
If-
Y'all are killing it. What are they discussing on this phone? Maybe it was the judge that was late. No, she was just walking in the room at 1:30, so maybe it was scheduled for 2 and they started 30 minutes early or something.
I dropped my email if you want to send anything over, Sarah, and I'll share it with allegedly for sure. Guess I would be glad to help, like look around or at least get familiar with the case.
Yeah, Zio is who I'm sending all my stuff to, my documents and stuff to, so she can help me get them in the Discord. Zio is very smart. She's my homegirl. I love you too, honey.
Well,
Abellis, hey.
oh, see, I summoned you in Discord and you didn't answer me, Abellis. I almost cried.
Abellis, I've got jail records. I didn't know today was sentencing. I thought I had like the rest of the week. So I real quickly this
There's his
morning
brother.
went through
Brother.
September and October so I could get it out for you, and it's uploading now. Which one is his brother, love?
The one on the very end in the front row right there, the one that testified.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I think his other brother is the third or
Oh, I
fourth
see
one
him
down. But anyway, the
right
front
there.
row right there, that's all his family.
Oh, I was like, I thought it
That's
was.
part of the second row as well.
So they might be
I
about to get started.
I wonder if they're going to do victim impact statements. Has anybody heard whether they are going to or not?
I don't know.
Not that she
I haven't
deserves it.
heard. Like because I thought I still had a couple of days to get the jail records out, but I didn't, and I started this morning with the jail records so I could get at least the last 2 months out. But
I didn't even know you were working on them. That's fantastic.
yeah, I got them in my email at the beginning of probably about a couple weeks ago, and I just haven't had time to get them out.
You go live 7 days a week. It's hard to do anything in between when you got real life outside of YouTube.
Yeah.
You
I've
think they are
been.
doing victim impact statements, Jenny?
I hope so.
1994. Oh wow. 14 in 1994. So she's around my age. Look at that smirk. Turn around, girl.
Yeah, that smirk got her in trouble.
Look at him.
Once they know her smirk, she's almost infamous for that smart that smirk.
Does it tell you? So you pulled up. I wonder what she's doing behind. Oh, anyway, I'm not gonna go there. She infuriates me.
Yeah, she makes me mad too. Okay.
Right, Abellis? I've been following from the beginning too. I totally agree with you. I hope she gets what she's got coming to her. She does not feel a second bit of remorse for what she has done to this family.
No, that smirk gets her in trouble. She's almost infamous for the smirk. She probably did do a drive-by.
Do you know how to do a
Lindsay.
poll?
No, I don't.
I can't do it from years. I was wondering if we take a poll on what we think, what our years are going to be.
I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder what her years are going to be too. Because I don't think it'll be the max because of the abuse that she allegedly suffered. But I think she's going to get still kind of a stiff sentence, but not the max.
So I I did a little research on the judge outside of the case and when he was rerunning for judge again and what he stood for, and he does a lot with cases that deal with domestic violence. So I do know that he does have a sensitive ear to the domestic violence part of it. And he is very, I'd have to say, just in my personal opinion, he's probably one of the most patient judges I have ever seen with her. I mean, as infuriating as she is, and 8 lawyers later, like he's absolutely been so kid glove with her.
Yeah. That man should be given an award for that shit. Excuse my French. I didn't mean to.
Uncomfortably numb. I love that name.
Oh, hi, Uncomfortably Numb. I don't
Ooh,
see you.
Abellis is shaking
Abellis,
out the bushes.
Abellis, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. That was so sweet of you. You're so sweet. Thank you, love. I really appreciate that. I'm going to play our members clip. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you, Abellis. That was so sweet of you. Thank you. We are all family here.
If it's any consolation to you, Rubber, I did not see anything. So most of our family was still asleep up until.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either, Rubber, and you're good.
Are you paused?
Yes. Oh, pause for the movie. For the clip. Hold on.
That's right.
Still nothing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Rubber, baby, I'm so sorry you've been crying this morning. I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. I don't think anybody saw it. I haven't heard anything.
Shabookies, congratulations on your sobriety. 3 years is a long time to stay sober when you're fighting against the demon. So, congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations. And I'm very proud of you. We are all entitled to some moments here and there. We absolutely are. And thank you again, Abellis. Abellis said you're very welcome. That's so sweet of you. Thank you, love.
Jenny, did you make it to our Discord?
Yeah, she hasn't been in there. You gotta come hang out.
I would love to have her in there.
Yeah, Rubber, you're good. I don't drink either. And when I do, I act a fool. But I don't, and that's why, because you don't drink very often, your body's not used to it, so you get drunk real quick. I don't drink either. I'll act a fool. My husband will have to be like, biatch, sit the hell down and
I
shit
act
the
a
hell
fool when I'm sober, so
down.
no shade.
Basil is on the bed. He was eating pretzels a minute ago. I gave him some pretzels. Where did you see uncomfortably numb? I didn't see that. Is that in your chat?
No. I saw when it was showing me who got the memberships. You got
Oh, okay,
Uncomfortably
yeah.
Numb, Eva, Crystal Ann, Becky Boo, Trauma D, Stacy, Dana, Heather Cook, Texas, something Texas, TK in Texas, Alyssa Mistaken. Yeah,
That's cool.
shake,
I can't ever see that.
shaking out the bushes. I absolutely will drop Discord. Eek's probably out grooming her babies this morning.
Yeah. I'm working on simultaneously getting this video out while watching the chat and watching her. She's talking to somebody. She got her hands in the praying motion. You better be praying. What are you saying? Did you check the box? That's what it looks like. Did you check the box?
She has her pink cuffs on. Yeah, she's got her pink little cuffs around her hands, and then her chains around her waist, and the ones around her ankles. Yes, Jenny.
I wish I could read lips.
She talks through her teeth though, so she's got dentures, and it's hard to freaking. She talks through her teeth.
Yeah. Jenny said seasonal depression is real. The holidays make it a little more harder. Have patience with yourself. Sending love and hugs to everyone. Jenny, you're so awesome. You know how to say the right thing at the right time. You're so sweet. Bella said, love it. I cannot stand her. I can't either. I didn't know she had dentures either.
I read it in somewhere. I mean,
Where's
with
that?
5 years of case study, stupid things get stuck in my head. I'll have to look and
Yeah.
see where I found that. Yay!
Yeah, like
Welcome
I
to
said,
Discord.
Zio was following this case more closely than I was.
I really was a dedicated hate watcher.
um,
Right, Tiana? Get a move on, peeps.
yeah. Pinto, you're so sweet. Pinto said, thank you, Jenny. And I'm with Tiana. Come on with it. Does anyone know if a complainant to the FBI for corruption would even garner a glance? It would be the Delphi mess. Yeah, I don't know, because they wouldn't let the FBI come in. But I would think the FBI could say, we're stepping in anyway.
Bellis, I feel the same way. I don't feel sorry for her. I mean, she's been proven guilty in a court of our peers, and she's been fully judged by us, the public, and I don't know any of us that. Now, I did think, I will be honest with you, I did think the defense was kind of gearing up, and I thought for a second they might garner some sympathy with the judge with some of the things he was saying because he was just down to earth and very layman's terms. But it was not garnering enough sympathy for me to think she didn't do what she set out to do. And that video was the seal the deal for me.
Yeah. Tiana, Discord is like where you can chat and they drop links and you can watch videos together. And like I post shorts in there all the time and funny memes. We get on there, like we all say good morning to each other and we say good night in there to each other. And there's case files in there. As the Gavel Drops Discord is another one that has lots of case files. I'll leave it in the description box of this. Oh, hey, Anders. Thank you for being here, love. There was someone who called her video a snuff movie. Hello, everyone. Oh, no. Yeah, I could agree. Zaya said it could be that. It's the worst thing I'd ever seen. What are y'all talking? Whose movie?
Her little movie that she filmed. Well, she
Oh,
had like a 3 minute, her 3 minute suitcase, for all the things you've done to me, and and then the next one, 11 seconds later or 11 minutes later, you see that she's turned the suitcase over, and he's literally like, still in there, and he's trying to get out a little bit, but it's a whole lot less activity. It just, oh, it's terrible.
yeah, it is terrible. And it's really sad that she just sat there while he was telling her he couldn't breathe.
Hi,
Um,
Anders.
and just let him pass like that.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Abellis. Like he was trying to garner sympathy by getting close enough to them to see if he could empathize, or he could get enough empathy for her to convince them. And so yeah, his speech pattern definitely changed. And then you notice again, as soon as it was over and they had the conference, the meeting outside, it changed again. He was back to being professional because he wants that book deal. He wants that movie deal.
Yeah. And she was responding to a Bellis who had said when Owens changed his speech pattern and used y'all every 2 seconds when he was questioning her, I was mad. He didn't use that before or during media interviews. Mm. Oh, yeah, Tiana, the video that she recorded of him passing, it was horrible. And Rubber, I'm sorry you're going through seasonal depression. I saw that earlier, but didn't want to highlight it. We love you. And you are loved by us over here. So you are good. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. And I hate that for you. I haven't been affected by any kind of holiday depression, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm so sorry that you've been affected by that. That really sucks. I'm so sorry, honey. I know it's like attorney client privilege, but I want to know what they're talking about. Okay, I think this is good enough for me to put it out now. It's as good as it's going to get for right now. Rubber, do you want a link to come up? I'll drop the StreamYard link, yeah. Do. Oh yeah, bad girl. I saw one. I dropped the link, honey. I saw one video out of I think it was Arizona where they were talking about the midnight productions. It's some kind of like oh,
There we go.
yep. Here we go. Maybe the judge was just late. Hey, Rubber.
I'll be quiet while we're watching these.
Okay, you're cutting in and out a little bit. I just wanted you to know that.
Okay, let me exit and come back.
Okay. She's telling him about the puzzle, said Anders. Probably. You know you don't have to review this case. You know it, sir. Hey, babe.
Okay, is it echoing now?
Nope, you're good. Perfect.
Okay.
Kranick. I'm about to go grab my Red Bull. Hold on, I'll
Did
be
you
right back.
know this is okay, you're good. He was a circuit judge in Unified Family Court from 2019 to 21.
Yeah, case.
Calling the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603, state.
Chief Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Defense.
William J. for the state.
Defense.
James Owens for Sarah Boone.
Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table. Ma'am, if you could please raise your right hand, Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Ma'am, can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for us?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-7-7.
We are here for a sentencing. The jury returned a verdict on October 25, finding you, Ms. Boone, guilty of murder in the second degree. We are running a little bit late this afternoon. I apologize for that. I was in court all morning and took the opportunity to review all of your submittals from earlier this morning, Mr. Owens, including the victim or the character statements, the psychological evaluation by Dr. Harper, the motion for downward departure, the motion for new trial, and the state's response to same. Before we proceed with any sentencing in this matter, the court needs to address the defendant's motion for new trial and the state's response to the defendant's motion for new trial. Anything in addition you'd like to argue at this time, Mr. Owens, over and above what is contained in your motion, sir?
No, sir.
State.
No, sir.
All right. After reviewing the motion and the state's response to same, the defendant's motion for a new trial is denied. Based on the court's review of the record, the court's participation in the trial, and the review of all the evidence, and the court's prior findings and rulings at trial and prior thereto. With that, I believe that we're prepared to proceed with sentencing at this time. The court has reviewed the pre-sentencing investigation prepared by the Department of Corrections. Are there any housekeeping matters that we need to address, Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore, before we proceed?
Not from the state.
Are there any housekeeping matters from your side of the ledger, sir, that we need to address, Mr. Owens?
Judge, I do have
Abellis.
4 lay witnesses that are going to testify. I've got Dr. Harper here to testify. Of course, my client's going to testify. But one of the 4 lay witnesses wants to appear by Zoom. She lives up in Minnesota. I don't know
Hey,
if
y'all.
that's allowed.
We don't have an objection to that. One of our witnesses will be providing an impact statement, would also like to appear on the court's virtual link as well.
Okay, so stipulated. If you need it, just let Anita know, and I could have her email it to you right now, the link.
We do have the link. She's waiting to get on, I guess.
Who might it be, sir? If several people.
It should be Lana Albert.
She is here, sir. She's in the, she's viewing, her camera's off and she's, microphone is muted, but she's in the lobby. All right, with that, state, you may proceed.
Your Honor, at this time, we would like to take an impact statement from, I believe, Anna Torres, which you will be appearing virtually.
I see several guests, but I do not see a Anna Torres in the virtual lobby, sir.
Well, I think while maybe she's having some issues logging on, we have also in-person witnesses.
We can proceed with those first, sir.
So it's Anna Torres. Is that the mother or the sister or the daughter? I think it's the daughter, but I could be wrong. Nope, it's the mama. Hey, Trixie.
Please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
Right, Abellis?
Okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead.
I just wanted to tell Sarah Boone that I don't hate her for what she did. And I always remember that evening when that lady came into my door and she knocked at the door. And she asked for my name. I said, I tell her my name. And then she said, can I come in? I said, okay, yes. And she told me to sit down. I never think that was going to be my son. And then she said my son was dead. Since that day, I can't sleep. It's hard for me to remember that moment. My son is not here no more. She don't only kill my son, she killed a father, a brother, an uncle. It's been hard. And my family, because all the brothers, they will always work together. But now it's like something real. Love is missing. Sometimes when I look out the window, I'm waiting for him to come and say, Mom, I love you. She was always there. She come and called me. I missed us, Mommy. The last time that I talked to him was at 12 o'clock in January, New Year. He came to my bed and said, Mom. He woke me up and I said, Mom, I love you. Happy New Year. And since that day, I don't see him no more. He was my son. I love him. And I miss him a lot. My family miss him a lot too. But I don't hear her. But you know what? I was blessed. She ain't gonna be blessed like me because I have my son. I raised him. I have his children, my granddaughter, my grandson, and she don't gonna be able to have that. And I did. I raised him. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good son. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. State anything further from this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, sir.
Ooh, I need an adaptive. Goodness gracious, that was sad.
I'm glad she didn't do it in Spanish. I was worried they were going to do it in Spanish. And
Yeah.
I would-
Oh, come on.
You may call your next victim impact statement.
Yeah, it wouldn't have had.
Victoria? Is that who they said? Victoria?
I think so. It wouldn't have had quite as much of an impact, I think, for people who don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. So I'm glad it was in English too.
Agreed.
I'm going to drop down and put you in my ear and listen while I cook. It's breakfast time here, so
Call your name for the record for us.
I'll
Okay.
I'll pop back up later on though. I'll ask for the link
Okay,
later
baby.
on. All right, love
Okay,
y'all.
baby.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
My brother. Unfortunately,
You have it up all the way?
family has experienced
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
horrifying tragedies.
Hopefully they'll turn it up.
I just want to make it clear that
Yes.
George deserves
See,
justice. As far as my other brother and Sarah deserve to rot in jail. Sarah has caused a lifetime of pain, a lifetime of horrible images, a lifetime of hearing my brother George plead for his life.
oh God.
This is just this moment for all of you. For me and my family, it's forever. Such a simple thing as using a suitcase is so triggering. I try not to close it all the way.
Oh my God.
I leave at least like 2 or 3 inches for the zipper. And it might sound crazy, but it just helps me. He really has flipped my family's life upside down. And I just hope that we can truly get justice for my brother. And I just want to tell the team thank you so much for everything they did. Thank you.
Thank you. State anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes.
Thank you.
My God. Poor baby.
Your Honor, could we see if Ms. Anna Torres has been able to make it online?
Do not see an Anna Torres in the lobby, sir. I have lots of guests, HHSA, Mr. Beck, Lana Albert, Jason Gunn.
Your Honor, is there a cap to the link as to the number of individuals?
Not to my knowledge.
Could we just have just a moment?
Yes.
So they're waiting for her on Zoom. Abella said she probably wanted to lunge out at that creep. And I think so. I think as a victim of the family, it would be super hard not to. And there's been cases where they did. Something happened to somebody I knew or loved or cared about. It would be hard for me not to mess them up as well. Where are you, my friend? Is that what
Oh,
it says? Where are you?
she said yes, and I said, "Oh, how?" I said, "That's good. That's good, my friend." And
Oh,
TQM means te quiero mucho. It's kind of like I love you in Spanish.
yeah, I know te quiero mucho. I was trying to. I know a little bit of Spanish, but not a lot. But obviously, I butchered that one.
Yes, Lindsay, I agree.
Okay, Tiana, thank you for being here, honey. I'm gonna have the second stream where we finish our conversation from yesterday after this one. I didn't want to put them together because I want to do Paul Flores justice by just having him featured on that stream. And the mountains at the end, what's going on in the mountains here, but Sarah Boone's like a big thing, so I just wanted to do it separately so we could focus on mainly Paul in the next stream. Lindsay said 100%. I'd tell the head bailiffs to bring every bailiff they got in there, and y'all better stand in between me and them, right? Abella said, yes, a dad shot his child abuser point blank in a hallway. It was filmed by reporters too. Yep. I remember seeing that. I've heard about a mom who did it.
Yeah, but the death penalty was abolished in Canada in like 1998, right? So they don't even have any death penalty cases, right?
Good question.
I think their most severe imprisonment is life imprisonment.
Anders from Sweden says, I like the thing of listening to relatives before sentencing. I don't think we have that here. The victim impact statements. Yeah, I think it's important because it shows the suffering and what the families are going through.
Who's in Sweden?
Anders.
Oh, okay.
Anders is Swedish, my little Swedish buddy. Cara said, my friends taught me all the bad words in Spanish. That's my extent of Spanish. That's what happened with me. I grew up in an area. I grew up in an area that was kind of like in a town setting, and they taught me all the bad words. People that lived like 2 blocks down from me, I would go at their house. I remember one time their dad had made salsa, and it was super hot, and the kids were eating it, and they were like, I could tell he was like, are you sure you want it? And they were like, yeah, and they were eating it, and they were acting like it wasn't that hot, and they gave it to me, and they were like, here, try it. And the dad was like, looked over right as I tried it, and he was like, no, it's too hot. So funny. I was little.
Because Sweden doesn't have the death penalty either. Okay. Their like last execution was like back in 1910.
Oh, okay.
So they either have imprisonment or compulsory residential psychiatric care.
Given the fact that the victim's daughter is having difficulties
Okay.
Is that her, Anna Victoria Torres?
Yes, sir.
Is that it? Is that who it is? All right, ma'am, good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Okay.
I think
Could
this
you
is
please
the
state
daughter.
and spell your name for the record?
My name is Anna Victoria Torres, ANAVICTORIATORRES.
Thank you, ma'am. I understand that you'd like to provide a statement to the court at this time. You may proceed.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be speaking for myself and my 2 siblings.
Hey, Cozy.
The murder of our father has impacted us on so many levels and in different
I
ways.
hope they turn it up.
I myself, for the first year, would wake up screaming every morning or night, wishing I was having a nightmare, only to wake up to remember all over again that my father is gone and I'll never be able to hear him say he loves me ever again. To know my siblings have been affected in such a way that they are now different. They have had a piece of their heart ripped away from them, all while her son gets to hear his mother's voice and see her alive is pathetic. Because of you, Sarah, my sister is heartbroken. Because of you, Sarah, my brother is left wondering when he will ever see his father again. The loss of my father has left me with chronic depression and anxiety. Seeing any moments of fatherly love or kindness being shown between others in real life or even on TV leaves me in complete shambles. Seeking therapy was a must in order to navigate through my workday without a random breakdown. Thoughts of my father's demise still enter my mind ever so often. I'm left either angry, sad, or sick to my stomach to think of how his final moments were. George Torres, my incredible father. Not only was he my father, but my best friend. My personal comic provided me with wisdom and knowledge, creative and loving dad, an older brother, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, a son, and above all, our father. He was human and deserved to be treated as such. My father, George Torres, was one of a kind, an absolute gem. Unfortunately, his light was dimmed on earth by evilness, but with us, we will forever make his name live on. Especially Sarah, I pray that you see his face when you see him at night. That is it.
Thank you. Anything further, State?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further of this witness?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. State,
Thank you.
anything further?
That's right, Cozy. Victim impact statements.
I can make it loud when she said
Any
thank
other
you at the
witnesses
end.
or evidence at this point in time, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Owens, you may proceed, sir.
Ms. Diane Smith,
I tried to turn on the caption so we could read what they were saying at least. It's not on
I
it's
have
not my
no
fault.
issue with her being at the podium. If you want to move about the well to conduct your examination, that's fine, counselor.
It
Ma'am,
wasn't my
come on
fault that
up.
it was so low. It was the court.
Come
So I
up to this
turned on the
podium right
closed
here, ma'am. If you
caption so
could
you have
raise
to
your
read
right
it.
hand, Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in. Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Diane Smith, Diane
Okay, thank you very much. Counselor, you may inquire.
and Ms. Smith, tell the court a little bit about you.
I was a chaplain at the 33rd Street Jail for 30 years.
And have you been a chaplain at the jail here in Orange County?
Yes, Orange County Jail
Is that the same
for
jail
30
you're
years.
referring to? Okay. And during that period of time, did you have occasion to meet with Sarah Boone?
I did.
And was it over the course of how long?
I've known her 4 years.
And if you could, tell the court what you'd like to say.
Okay. Well, I first met Sarah. She came in, we have a Christian dorm, and Sarah enrolled in our Christian program. And she was in my classes for a year. And she was very sincere in her efforts to change her life and to be a better person. And I found her very helpful. She was kind and good to people. She loved to serve. And she helped the new girls that would come in, the younger girls. She would mother them and be very kind and very helpful. And then after she graduated from the program, I was her counselor for the other 3 years. And I always found her, very sincere and, trying to do better. I spoke with many inmates that knew her and was associated with her. And they spoke very highly of her and said that, she was helpful and kind and tried to help other people. And I just found her to be, very sincere and trying to be a very good person and change and help people.
Was the Bible involved at all?
Oh, yes, it was all spiritual. Yes, it was spiritual growth plus character.
Spiritual in her baby toe?
Trying to just be a better person in general. She liked to serve other
On the
people.
toenail of her baby toe. That's where she's
Have
spiritual.
the girls wash their clothes and show them around and teach, but
Yeah,
spiritually,
get the fuck out of
she
here.
grew very
Sorry.
Right.
great
Sorry.
spiritually.
Right. You're right.
Hang on, ma'am, just 1 second. Hang on just 1 second, Ms. Smith. State any questions.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
She was ready to go. She was like, I have lied today. I got to get away.
And now you can go, you little liar, Lyerson. Go sit down.
Yeah, it's fine, counselor. Thank you. Ma'am, come on up if you can. Raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in. Ma'am, if you could state and spell your name for the record for us.
Christina Pena, Christina Pena.
It was Robert.
You may inquire, sir.
How old are you?
31.
And where do you live?
Orlando.
Now, it's my understanding, Ms. Pena, that you were in the county jail with Sarah Boone.
Yes.
How long were y'all in the same cell together?
Yes. I was in there for 4 years, but we were together for 3.
And I understand ultimately the charges against you were dismissed. And so you were released on what?
April 4th this year.
2024?
2023.
2023. So you've been out.
She was great, Judge.
I've
She
been
made
out
me
for,
breakfast
like,
in my cell,
6
gave me
or so
coffee.
months. Yeah. Since April of this year, actually. Sorry.
April of 2024. And
We played
you said y'all were
spades.
bunkmates there together for about 3 years. I would assume that y'all got to know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to speak on her.
Yeah, she slept in my bunk.
Sarah's one of my best friends, my only.
Take your time.
Is this the girlfriend?
I was just about to say, I think it's your girlfriend.
Bitch. You bitch.
Spiritually and like growing and she helps everybody. She's always, I don't know, spirit. She helped me a lot, and she would come to me. She'd talk to me all the time and pick me up when I was down, or if I didn't know something. She just good. I don't know. She was a good person.
This is so fucking profound.
Mistakes happen.
Set her free. Let her go, Judge. Let her go.
She always helped. She always helped people. She was always helping everybody in the dorm. She even like her artwork. She did.
Abilities.
Anybody need any help or needed anything, they'd come to her and they'd
hide and seek.
help them. Even if they, did wrong to her, she would still go back and help them and praise with them and pray over them and everything. It's
Aww, what a good woman.
Was she a little bit older than you?
Great lady.
How much older was she?
40 in her 40s.
Did you think of her as maybe an aunt or a big sister? What was
Big sister, yeah, she was like a big sister. It's like a sister I never had. Because I grew up, I have
Sister
brothers,
I never
but
had.
We clicked right away. I don't know. We'd be walking out in the backyard, and she just would always try and talk to me. But I'm a quiet person, and I don't trust a lot of people. So for me to open up and trust somebody, it's a lot.
She'd be the one I would trust to pack my suitcase for me.
Yeah.
She assist you.
Yeah.
Yes, and she helped me a lot with my my case, and I would help her with with hers too. We're both.
Y'all are killing me in the comments.
Justice is not what it is. I don't know how.
Bless you.
We both.
Oh my God, even your sneeze is insincere.
No doubt.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
A Boone's a night.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
Yeah, that was definitely the girlfriend.
Ms. Hill?
I was going to say, with the chaplain coming in, she's been taking the staples out of them books they give her and putting them in her pants. So evidently she's not the Christian lady you think she is reading those books. She's taking them apart.
Is she doing that to get them prison tats?
She could be. She's trying to make the pants smaller, I guess.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
My name is Mariela Hill, Mariela, last name Hill.
Oh, God, Abellis.
Thank you. You may proceed, sir.
Ms. Hill, briefly tell us a little bit about yourself.
I met Sarah in jail. I spent 3 months in jail and went through a lot of circumstances.
Now, this was in the Orange County Jail here in Orlando?
Orange County.
Let me move this so we can see what they're saying.
Do you recall the date?
Yes, it was April, from April to June.
Oh my goodness.
Of this year.
Of this year,
2024.
2024.
Yes.
Okay. And did you develop a relationship with Sarah Boone over the course of that 3 months?
Yes, yes. We met when I was moved to the B dorm, and I needed help with the homework that I needed to complete. And one of the CEOs pointed to Sarah to help me out. And since that moment, we became really good friends. And she was so helpful, so kind, so respectful and loving, not just to me, but to everyone. And I have nothing but good things to say about her, her character, her loving heart, and how deep her faith is, her faith in God and believing in justice for everyone. That's what I believe.
State any questions? No, Your Honor. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hill. I appreciate it.
No questions. Get out of her. Yeah, look at her smirking at her.
Ms. Albert?
How many
Good
girlfriends you
afternoon,
got?
ma'am. Can you
Boone?
hear me? This is Judge Crane.
Ma'am.
And if you can, I would ask you to turn on your camera and unmute yourself at this time, please.
I wish they turned the volume
sir,
up.
how do I unmute turn on my camera? I know how to unmute, but I'm not sure how to turn the camera on.
They are Anders.
Turn the volume down.
Turn the volume down, peep.
Wish they turn it up for everybody else.
When you join the link, there should have been an option for like a pull down on the left-hand side of the screen for you to open out or turn on a camera. I don't know what device you're appearing on, if it's a cell phone or a laptop.
I need to tell y'all a story.
It is an iPhone. Should I try to re-enter the room?
Yeah, try to do that. There should be an option.
Is this one of
for
Shrek's
you
kids?
To pick a camera.
I don't know. While they're
either
saying
select
this,
the camera, and hopefully we'll be able
to
to see
what
with
you
that
said,
time.
bad girl, when I was in
Okay, let me
China,
just give me one
when they
second.
would give us hot dogs, they had to be cut up for that reason because evidently somebody was using them for nefarious reasons. So, like, if we ever got hot dogs, they were cut up. I was like, y'all
Wow.
bitches are crazy. Oh my God. Y'all are killing me. With a cat head? No, I don't remember that. They would take toilet paper and like water and stick it together to make like a paper mache member too.
Did that work? Can you see me?
I was like, y'all need to stop.
Shoot. Yeah, it's saying default camera. It's saying front camera. I chose it. It didn't show my face or anything like that.
Y'all are killing me.
Skills are limited.
Yeah, back in the day, I went down a bad road.
I have no objection to the witness making their statement here.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, Miss Albert, good afternoon. If you could just state and spell your name for the record for us, please.
Oh my gosh.
Certainly. Lana, Lana, Albert, Albert.
Mr. Owens is going to ask you some questions.
Oh,
And if you
Shaboogies,
could
thank
just
you.
answer them, ma'am, I would greatly
So
appreciate
sweet.
it. Sir, you can proceed.
Miss Albert, do you have the ability to turn your volume down?
Yes, I just did. I can't hear you very well when I do that, though.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but very, very
I can't hear you.
How about
I can't
now?
hear you. Just hang up. Go
Yes,
away.
I can hear you. Am I okay?
Yeah, you sound a lot better. You were too loud earlier.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me
I
okay?
can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
All right, Miss Albert.
Can you hear me now?
Tell the
Can you
court
hear me
a
now?
little bit about yourself briefly.
Well, I live in Minnesota. I currently have end-stage renal disease. Before I became disabled, I was a business owner in the Twin Cities here.
All right, and how old are you?
I am 50 years old.
All right, and you're considered disabled?
Yes, I am.
All right, and have you?
Come on,
had an
Owens.
occasion
End-stage renal
since this
disease. What do you
event
think?
To establish a relationship with Sarah
Right.
Boone?
Yes, I have. We have been friends for the past a little over 11 months.
Oh
And
God.
how do y'all communicate?
We've communicated a lot of phone calls, lots of tablet back and forth, and a lot of letters as well. I'd say many hours of time spent with each other.
All right, and do you want to speak on her behalf here today?
I would, please.
All right, would you please tell the court what you would like for the court to know?
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Your Honor,
Yeah.
for the privilege of speaking on behalf of my friend Sarah Boone. I also want to extend my heartfelt condolences to everyone here affected by this terrible tragedy, which has brought us all here and listening in. Many articles and videos and opinions of Sarah have gone out in the airways and on the webs. Opinions that have been formed and commented on so much that it's hard not to give into the temptation to treat people like a comic book or a fictional character. In the case of my friend Sarah, the words narcissist, Karen, villain, many other things, they roll off the tongue with little regard to the humanity that is dismissed so flippantly. And under a lot of circumstances, I was one of those people, as I have a love of true crime. And becoming friends with Sarah has shown me that there's a lot more depth to the people I see on the screen. I'd like to share with the world and with the court about the Sarah Boone that I know. Sarah Boone is a kind, honest, and good person. The Sarah Boone I know is one who loves animals, especially the kind who are damaged and defenseless. How many of us would take in and pour love for a hearing impaired and a sight impaired pair of dogs. She has a natural instinct to help reach out and give of herself. Her time and energy and love, especially to those who are hurting or damaged. You all have seen her fight for her own life and truth here. I tell you this, she fights even harder for those she loves, giving time, attention, and companionship without a single thought for her own gain or what somebody can do for her. And one huge example is in the matter of our friendship. As I
Yeah,
said
they're
before, I
way
have
over
end-stage
this.
renal disease caused by a genetic illness called polycystic kidney disease. As my life has progressed, things
Nobody
I've
gives
taken
a
for
shit
granted
about
have
your
been taken away
illness.
from me.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
not
could
trying
not
to be
appear in
callous,
court
but
in person
it's not why
because
we're here.
I can no longer walk, as my dialysis treatments have affected the circulation of my legs and has confined me to a wheelchair. To say that my life has radically changed is an understatement. Through it all, I have many friends and family I love and cherish. Sarah has distinguished herself differently in this way. In the course of getting to know her, I started sharing the progressing state of my health. It was like lightning had struck her. The moment Sarah had learned the depth of my struggles health-wise, she straight up offered strenuously to donate a kidney to me. I got to tell you this.
Right?
I'm sure you're not mad for me showing this.
Donate a
But she had
freaking
no
kidney.
hesitation, no concern over personal risk or personal gain. I want to convey to this, out and around the world, that is merely offering is a good and heroic act. I've had many friends. I've not had one outside of my brother who has offered me a kidney. That is huge. I don't have anything of equal value to give to her. And that's not the actions of a narcissist. She did it as a reflex action, as a good person. After the verdict came in October, we spoke that night. And I hope Sarah doesn't get mad at me again for disclosing this, but
Oh my God.
out of all the shock and seriousness of what had happened in the court, the thing that made her emotionally break was that she realized she could no longer be a donor to me. I mean, I was sitting there like, hey, you know, it's going to be okay. But she was so broken up, she couldn't help me. That's a friend. She is not, nor does she come up anywhere remotely close to being a narcissist. And one more thing before I go. Social media has worked to rip the blindfold off of Lady Justice, to take the sword out of her right hand and start assassinating Sarah's character. However, the scales are the balance. As it says in Psalm 85, mercy and truth are
Oh,
met
don't you
together.
dare.
Righteousness and peace have kissed each other.
Oh, he did.
Justice isn't
Yeah, we're not going to
justice
do no
without mercy. Our
manipulation
pursuit of
with your
righteousness
religion.
isn't complete and
F
right
you,
without
dude.
peace. Thank you, Your Honor, for the honor of speaking for my friend Sarah Boone. I hope that your justice is mixed with mercy here today. Thank you.
That is a prison pen pal. He's never met her in real life. She's using the shit out of him, probably for money.
Thank you, Miss Albert. I appreciate you.
She got 2 girlfriends and a pen pal. Dr.
And
Harper.
a cockroach sharing her crackers.
I'm okay with her on the stand.
Yep.
She can be right now. Yes, sir.
Are we going to hear Dr. Harper again? For God's
Evidently.
sake.
I wish they turned the volume, like they turned the volume down to where you can barely hear it. I don't understand why they keep doing that.
That's fine.
I don't want to hear from this quack.
Doctor, good afternoon. If you could please raise your right
Quack,
hand. Madam
quack.
Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
All right, Trixie.
If you could, doctor, state and spell your name for the record for us, please.
Dr. Julie Harper.
He did, Trixie.
J-U-L-I-E-H-A-R-P-E-R.
Thank you. Counselor, you may inquire.
Oh, Lordy.
Owen looks like he's standing at a urinal.
He does.
And I don't know if you want to refer to that or just speak on Ron about Sarah Boone and what she did to assess her, and then any opinions that you want to express.
All right.
I think that during trial testimony, I reviewed all of the documents, excuse me, and all of the records that were available. They're documented in my report as well. In addition to the forensic clinical interviews that I conducted, I also have had the opportunity to talk to her brother, Philip Paulson, in the interim since the trial, and I included his information in my report as to her family background.
If you could, give the court a synopsis of what your findings are, or what you uncovered maybe from the brother, whatever you think the court needs to hear this relevant material to his decision.
So referring to the summary section of my report, I'll keep it a brief, but I'll outline the highlights that I feel like haven't been conveyed before, which is an understanding of Ms. Boone's early family life, in that
We don't care.
she is the middle child of her parents' union, and
We
that
still
her
don't care.
parents did not have a happy marriage. They didn't provide an opportunity to have a good role model as to how to have a partnership together.
Not an excuse.
Ms. Boone was born in close proximity to her youngest brother, 11 months apart. And in my clinical experience and training, I would say that that disrupted her attachment with her mother, some being close in proximity with her.
Oh,
brother,
you
whose
bitch.
temperament just seemed to suit.
Did you hear what she just said?
Better than her own.
No, Abella said get
So,
comfy, so I walked
as
and
you
got
know,
me a
Ms.
snack.
Boone,
A snack. What'd she say?
She just said her and her brother were 11 months apart, so that disrupted her relationship with her mother. Fuck off.
Oh my God.
Miss
were
me.
primary parents for her in that way. His
Lord
untimely
Jesus.
death by heart attack during her high school years.
Oh, well, Kara,
was
you're going to put people in suitcases
marked by
then.
her brother as a turning point for her in how she was acting at home.
That's interesting, Abellis.
Her relationship with her mother took a
If I'm an only
Well,
child, can I get away with murdering
coping well.
because I'm lonely?
She was
Right,
using
Shaboogies?
substances based
Good
on what her
question.
brother was saying. And it is my opinion that that early lack of foundational relations with her mom and not feeling very secure, the death of her father, destabilized her. That's a period of your life when you're leaving high school, when you should have formed a very solid foundation to go out in the world. And I don't think that that's what she had at that moment. She bonded easily with Mr. Boone, and you can see that there are elements of that early difficulty with her relationships because
Yes.
she took on a
On some
parentified role, in
bullshit.
my opinion, during that
They are.
relationship. And therefore, there's a power imbalance in that she was making decisions and not, again, having an equal relationship. I think that that led her to a sense of being a need to be right, a need to feel like she is the one that's making good decisions, to have some ego support by being in the right all the
Ego
time.
support?
Mr.
Suck
Boone.
it. That's what you can
And
do
I
with
think
your
that
ego.
that led to
Sorry.
Her ego already arrives 5 minutes
some
before she
behaviors
does.
that she carried over into a
Amen.
relationship with Mr. Torres, in that she's parentified around him and acting more like a
I get
parent-child
so animated,
relationship,
Shaboogies.
being
I'm sorry if I'm yelling.
housing and applications for jobs and
Listen,
things like that.
if
So
my
again,
husband was
there's a
sleeping
power
in the back, he's like, oh, you're yelling.
It's very seriously misaligned.
Yeah.
We're
As
watching
her
the
brother
Sarah
Trixie,
Boone
good
Shingen
question.
thing, and they're on some
the
bullshit.
property manager of their apartment had verified they saw her being abused, physically abused in serious ways.
Ego
Good point,
support
Lynn.
sure sounds like a narcissist. Didn't they say
Calls
she's
them.
not a narcissist?
Mm-hmm.
It's my opinion that she called for help.
Right.
But when people got tired of her not leaving Mr. Torres, they stopped responding to those calls. And basically, Ms. Boone handled things on her own. And as other people with healthier boundaries probably would have left, she being acting out the pattern of intimate partner violence did not leave. She stayed long past when it would have been smart for others, or others would have said to leave. Sorry. The undergirding of that not leaving the relationship is a long-term anxiety problem that became post-traumatic stress disorder. There is an earlier instance of exposure to traumatic stress in that she was the person in the hospital after her father died who found him having students perform CPR on his dead body. So that was an early exposure to high traumatic stress, witnessing that incident. And based on her brother's description, that was something that changed her. When a person is exposed to numerous compounding stressors, their adrenaline system is changed. It alters your body. And things that might be an otherwise neutral situation, you tend to have a cascading adrenaline response to that. And I think that that ultimately for her, as she succumbed to other instances of serious physical abuse from her partner, became post-traumatic stress disorder. I do think that that is a condition that is still existent even while she's in jail. It's something that she needs treatment for because those triggers are unmitigated, meaning that she hasn't really had the kind of therapy to address them and reduce her adrenaline and anxiety responses when she thinks of past instances of traumatic.
Fuck her woe is me Eeyore syndrome. Get out of here.
You can also respond to post-traumatic stress disorder
Amen.
by using antidepressant therapy, and that would be something that could assist her ultimately in reducing symptoms if she had counseling and antidepressant therapy.
Now, Dr. Harper, I know you had testified in the trial that, in your opinion, she suffered as a battered spouse syndrome that is legally recognized in Florida, in the courts of Florida.
That's correct.
And I understand that that is tied to this intimate partner violence, which is maybe the same thing, but there's a complex mental health issue that ties into that. Can you speak on the complexity of that whole cycle that
Anders, she's saying that people were frustrated and fed up with her because they told her to leave George and she never would, like
intimate partner
neighbors.
violence is not a diagnosis. It's a pattern of events that occur between two partners in which the power dynamic is altered by the physical abuse or behaviors that are controlling in nature to the point that someone's safety is threatened. It's common for victims of that to have a complex mental health condition, often including depression, anxiety, and substance abuse problems. And what might be substance abuse to cope with the problem, like numbing oneself, will sometimes result in its own diagnosis. The pattern of intimate partner violence, I think we covered in the trial, but just in summary about that, there are phases in which at first bonding of the two partners might be something positive. They've got
Okay, and it shows a pattern of assaultive behavior and coercive
time
behavior.
together.
She was
And
more
then
coercive
the
than he
secondary
ever
phase
was.
of that is when there is change in dynamic and some kind of traumatic event occurs, some instance of physical violence. And then there's a third phase in which it's like a honeymoon phase where they're trying to right the relationship. So in phase one, when they're having something pleasurable, the tone shifts. Phase two, there is some kind of incident. And phase three, there's a honeymoon phase. As that pertains to anxiety, I think that a person who suffers from intimate partner violence never stops experiencing that hypervigilance, waiting for the next instance of violence to occur. So even though they may look happy, they might be experiencing something positive, they've not really relaxed because their memory that that could or will occur again is still in their mind. So they haven't fully.
Okay, well, it's a good thing she's in jail with all women.
It's just what
No doubt.
And not in a relationship with anybody romantically to have intimate partner violence anymore.
Yep.
That's what's been marked. I don't believe it's been filed in the court file.
Right.
If it has, that's something if it needs to be, it's something we can address. I have reviewed it. It does reflect confidential and privileged information on the first page. I don't believe it's been filed in the court file unless you did it. Okay. It already has been? All right, appreciate it. Okay, excellent. Thank you, sir.
And Dr. Harper, you're aware that the defense has filed a defense motion for downward departure.
Yes.
And we've listed several factors under paragraph 3, the capacity of the defense requirements of law were substantially impaired, that she requires specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is not related to substance use or addiction, although you agree that she does suffer from alcohol use disorder.
So she has an underlying mental health disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I additionally diagnosed her with alcohol use disorder, which is separate.
But you agree she does require specialized treatment for a mental disorder that's not related to the substance use or addiction?
That's correct.
And you agree she's amenable for treatment?
Yes.
And you would agree that she acted under extreme duress in this unique homicide case?
Yes.
And you would agree that the uniqueness of the circumstances, the facts and circumstances surrounding the case, that the offense was committed in an unsophisticated manner?
Yes.
And it was isolated.
That's my understanding as well. That
Other than she had the charge, which she was, both of them were charged at one time. I think she had the strangulation allegation, the felony case that was ultimately dismissed when both of them were arrested.
she had a prior felony case, facts are different, of course, than this particular case for her today.
Dr. Harper, I believe that's all the questions I've got, unless you would like to say anything.
Praise
if I missed
Jesus.
Anything, of course.
No,
Okay, and if not, it's in the report.
yes.
Any questions?
Yes, will she take a stand so I can do the voting?
Yes, that's fine.
Right, Abellis? So what about George? Does he have PTSD, alcohol abuse disorder, anything else?
You may inquire, sir.
Right, Kara, you're exactly right.
Pages 1 and 2 of your report, you go through the sources of your information, correct?
Yes.
And that would include 8 interviews that you had with her from the course of August of 2020 through
Yes,
September of
grill this
2024,
turtle face
correct?
lady.
There were 9 interviews, but 8 dates of service are listed.
You did the Miller.
Allegedly, she's not
Forensic
turtle enough
Assessment
for
of
our
Symptoms
turtle
Test,
club.
or MFAST.
That's right.
Inventory of Legal Knowledge, ILK.
That's right.
Clinician Administered PTSD Scale 5 examination.
Yes.
You consulted with her attorney.
Yes.
Videotaped interviews from this court case number of Sarah Boone, interview part 1 and 2, Abraham Moreno interview, Brandon Moats interview, Brian Boone interview, Juan Torres interview, and Melissa Sexton interview, correct?
Yes.
You reviewed the autopsy photos.
Yes.
You reviewed some of the digital forensic exhibits, including the Apple iPhone XS and the Samsung SMJ 327 T1 photographs from those 2 devices.
Yes.
You reviewed Bates stamped discovery pages 1 through 413.
That's correct.
The crime scene photos are photos of the scene taken on June 19th of 2020.
Yes.
Aspire Health records.
Yes.
And who do those pertain to?
Aspire Health records are for Sarah Boone.
Florida Hospital Medical Group records.
Yes.
And who do those records pertain to?
That is also for Sarah Boone.
And Aspire, is that a mental health treatment facility?
It has an emergency department record, but that would be the place where she was detained under the Baker Act.
And it is routine and common in the practice of forensic psychology or psychiatry to rely on the records of other such practitioners.
As a source of information, sure.
You reviewed the deposition of Dr. Tanya Warner.
I did.
You reviewed the trial testimony of Sarah Boone, Brian Boone, Dr. Michael Brannon, Dr. Tanya Werner, correct?
Yes.
The jury verdict form dated 10/25/24.
Yes.
Witness list notice of filing amended.
Yes.
On this case. Records of Jorge Torres or George Torres involving case numbers 2019 MM 5114, a 911 call and PDF, case 2019 MM 7193, case 2019 MM 7193, Torres Public Records, case 2019.
I hate to
MM
interrupt, but he's
7193
asking her, did
Torres
she see
photos,
every single thing
Central
from the
Florida
case?
primary care
And you
records,
still feel this way
Advent
after
Health
everything
Orlando
she did
medical
to
records,
George?
correct?
Hey,
And
period,
those
point blank.
latter records that I just mentioned, those
Thank you
are
for being
from
here.
Mr. Torres and not Ms. Boone, correct?
That's right.
Then you reviewed
I
Sarah
agree.
Boone written correspondence, Sarah's listing of domestic violence incidents, Sarah's writings regarding missing days of work and Baker Act, and a 74-page life story.
That's right.
And then case 2018 CF 10573, public records and photos.
Yes.
And a telephone interview with Melissa Sexton, the property manager, which you conducted on October 1st,
It
2024.
looks weird. Thank you.
And a
Allegedly.
telephonic interview with Philip Paulson, the defendant's brother, on November 26, 2024.
Yes.
Where has Ms. Boone been housed in
Yeah.
Michigan since February?
Thank you. Period. Point blank.
Orange County Jail.
And does the Orange County Jail provide mental health services to inmates?
It does.
And
Right, Abellis?
you already testified you would routinely, as a forensic psychologist, review records kept of a psychological or psychiatric treatment of a patient or a client, correct?
Yes.
In this particular case, have you reviewed any mental health records generated by the Orange County Jail for Ms. Boone?
No, I have not had the opportunity to do that.
So for the last 58 months or so, if she was being seen by the mental health treatment staff at the jail, you have not reviewed those records.
That's correct.
And they are overseen at the jail, in the Orange County Jail, by a psychiatrist. Are you aware or not?
If the person's level of mental health intervention deems them eligible for psychiatry, then they will.
And any diagnosis or lack of diagnosis that they have had during the course of the last 58 months, you are unaware of because you did not review the records.
That's right.
I don't have any other questions.
Any redirect examination?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you.
One question. Dr. Harper, I didn't ask you to review those records, did I?
No.
Thank you.
See that camera flash in her face?
Judge, I believe you said it at the very beginning.
Probably.
That
I was
I
muted.
had submitted several letters on behalf of Ms. Boone, and she didn't hear that, but I wanted her to be made aware.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you don't actually read those letters into the record, but you did read them.
I have reviewed them. They're in my binder here. How many do I have? Yes. Give me a second. I can tell you. I
How
have.
insulting.
She's
I
trying
have
everything.
6 handwritten letters.
She ain't gonna win.
First one is 1 page. Second one is 2 pages. Third one is 1 page. Fourth one is 2 pages. Fifth one is 2 pages. Sixth one is 2 pages. I have a typed letter from Diane Smith, the assistant chaplain. I have another typed letter from a Nicole Ray, a typed letter from a Stephanie L., a typed letter from Philip Paulson, a email from Lana Albert, 2 pages in length, and a 2-page email from a Danielle Parsons.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I would like to call Sarah Boone.
You may proceed.
Oh my God.
Yes,
No,
please.
you're not, ma'am. Are you freaking
Wow.
serious? Here we mother trucking go.
Ms. Boone, you could be seated. You've been previously sworn.
Say it loud and proud.
You may inquire, sir.
It's the last time you're gonna get to say it in public.
Look at that face.
Yeah, smile at your little girlfriend.
Now, this is unlike a trial.
Speak innocent.
So you're allowed to speak in a narrative form, as well as I understand you have taken some notes or written a letter.
Cora.
What was that?
Read from, and then you want to speak to the court after that.
Tara said something. Shaboogie's read. All right.
Speak up,
It's actually
bitch.
an edited version of.
Oh God.
Make sure we can hear her, but nobody else.
I had a lot to say. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper. And I didn't know how much I could
That would be a
say or
fucking
how
first.
little I should say. So what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial. And on top of what I have on paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to address everyone in my apology on top of my statement.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Kintu Sukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which
Oh
means
my
to repair with
God.
gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer.
Sorry.
So rather than being
Oh
covered
my
up, the
God.
breaks become more obvious and a brilliant
Stop
new piece
it.
of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack
This is what
in
she
a
been doing on
ceramic
that
piece is a
laptop
part
in
of its
prison.
history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu Sukuroi. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres, the Torres family,
No,
the
you're
justice
not.
system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation,
Oh,
and
she's
ongoing
going fucking
constitutional
in.
violations,
Oh.
second-degree murder, forced into being pro se. Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable.
Oh, fuck you.
Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable
What?
self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache. Irreparable cracks on top of the already that
My
no one
bad.
deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter. As the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward.
Oh, we hate
My
you.
goal begins with
We all
George
hate you.
Torres, and every time he slapped me, kicked, punched, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole
Oh my
from,
God.
lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, defeat, or destroy. I forgive George for beating me senseless.
Oh my
For trying to
God.
sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day. For ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together. For wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over. For breaking or removing the locks from all of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I
You
had nowhere to
forgive
feel
him?
safe.
You killed
including
him.
the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me. For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the
Kara,
times
you
their
ain't
father beat their
lying.
mother. For all of the drunken rages and fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, then butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Threatening to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was
Oh my
alive
God,
and
not
in one
sodomized.
piece. For threatening to burn down
In
our
the back door.
townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job. For holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave. for stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested.
Right, Cara?
For destroying my phone with a hammer because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars, like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. For taking my car, driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his batterers intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him. For causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity, for my M for murderer scarlet letter, not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed, or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love. I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also
you
his two ex-wives
bitch!
and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past.
Don't you
His history
fucking
of
dare,
violence
you
and where he
trash.
learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help.
Oh my
All
God.
of his siblings, including
She's
Terrell
trash.
Torres, who is now on his way to prison
Yep.
for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of her head. For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive them for caring too late. I hope they all ask themselves while quiet and comfortable in bed at night the uneasy question, what could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all
Bitch.
the times Sarah tried to, by asking for help from all of us and so many times.
Oh my
Another great contributor
gosh.
of my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain from my criminal case as a whole, and for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance and hate, conjured and fabricated by the organized crime that is social media, which condemned
Sorry to
me in the
interrupt,
court
but
of
the
global
plus
public
side to
opinion
this is the
since the
judge
beginning.
no way is going to go
My
light
family law
after all
case
this.
is the new prey waiting to be picked
No.
apart and pillaged
No
for me
way.
being made infamous by social media in my criminal case. It simply seems I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward. Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies, making and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes. It's all over their hands and their keyboards. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed, in my case, still no one knows me. In the end, I
Nobody
forgive
wants to.
myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, for being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends.
Right, Sarah?
I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse. I forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car. Having 20/20 hindsight thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid
I
the
agree,
outcome.
Liddy. I agree
think about this
100%.
every day since. Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before.
Thank you for being here, lady.
I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster,
Hey,
and no
overtaken.
matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs. Unfortunately, not all cracks can be. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him. In all of it and still. When I first came to
Through
jail,
all
I
of
put my head
that,
under my bed and cried all
through
day
all
and
of
all
that,
night for
you say
months,
you love this
only falling
man.
asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote his family and his daughters, apologizing for asking for their forgiveness. But due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom
Yeah, you
any
sure
of your
are.
grief and sadness. Please forgive me. Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound especially every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge
Right,
Panic.
Shaboogies? Right? That's
To
probably
the entire
true.
planet, please forgive me. I
Ha!
graciously and
Ha!
humbly ask for consideration, for
Yeah.
forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me, please, to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long. For second chances, repentance, and redemption to advocate for all domestic violence survivors, to help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always, to make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and the inside, to help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others. To stop
No,
the
you
abuse
made
and
him a
maltreatment before it's
casualty
too
of
late.
domestic violence.
There is
You
always hope,
trash
but
bag
you can
human.
survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this.
Ha!
Would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year, if it were I who died? How many daughters, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and friends have been because they did? I am a survivor.
I'm sorry, Cara.
Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke oppressors, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17.
Nope, not today.
All-encompassing, protect the abused.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
Now, gathering your thoughts, did you want to make an oral statement?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My statement, my verbal statement is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters. I know you all know who I really am and that I did care for George and that I do still love George. I know you know that we had very many good days. And I take offense to the statement of being
Everything.
said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment. But the moments before that, in order for me to be here, is endless. It's
Bad girl.
everlasting. The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed, except for my stab wound. But this has changed me as a person.
Bitch, you gotta fix that outside scar on your fucking face.
And
Yep.
to not be weak and just try to protect yourself and forever, regardless of the time that I may receive from today. I forever will have this experience. I forever will have George Torres with me in my heart, in my mind, my body, and my soul. As he and I used to say that we were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a moment. It may be for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever. When you all leave, that this is forever. This is forever for everyone here and those who it matters to most. I am one of those who will experience this forever. I'm sorry. Words do not define my shame, and I don't know what else it is that I can say and convey to the Torres family
Bitch has no shame.
how this happened. The ifs and whys and how really don't matter. It happened, and I'm sorry. Words cannot describe. And I hope that everyone can forgive me, the Torres family most of all, and his daughters, because I know what he meant
Not
to
likely.
them. And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him. And I ask for forgiveness.
Ms. Boone, I have just one or two questions, if you don't mind. And you can speak on it if you want. This is a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that when you were brought up as a child, that you did have some spirituality in your family, some church, some religion.
Always.
But I understand that you got away from that. Did you have a chance during the 4.5 years to look back at your spirituality?
Absolutely. You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest. If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I never had time to get back into my Bible.
You
to
weren't
pray,
working.
to be with the Lord. And I, being here
You
incarcerated,
weren't going to
had
church.
time, of course, to get closer to God, to reacquaint myself to Him, and realize what it's all about. This is all temporary. And when I say temporary, I don't mean by being set free in jail or from prison or wherever else. It means being set free and temporary, meaning that you work for something higher. You work for God, that you strive for your crown to be placed upon your head by Jesus Christ by being said, "You have done well, my good and faithful servant." I've always tried to be a good and faithful servant.
Oh,
I
no,
was
you
just
haven't.
a servant, as opposed to doing all that I can when my family were alive and I was going through everything up to this point.
Trixie, you better go get her, Trixie.
I've become so much more closer to the Lord, and it's made me such a better person.
I bet you have.
I hope that I am an example going forward of the Lord's light and can draw many people to me because of it.
Any follow-up, State?
No, I assumed that was the final word.
Thank you.
We assume so.
She can return back to council's table.
Oh yeah, she'll go on all day.
Anything else on your
Letters.
side of the ledger, Mr. Owens?
No more witnesses, Judge, just arguments.
Okay. Anything else in rebuttal, or just proceed to argument, State?
I don't know why I expected any less from her.
Look at her. Look at her smirking.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Statutory.
Look at her smirking at her girlfriend on the way.
Mm-hmm. That
You may
smirk
proceed,
gets her ass in trouble a lot.
Your Honor, I'm going to start my
Trixie, we
argument,
know you'd mess her up.
by what I anticipate Mr. Owens will bring up in his presentation regarding the plea offer in this case.
Okay.
He was offered a resolution in this case of 15 years in the Department of Corrections to begin with. I think it's important, though, that the entire circumstance of that plea offer is put forward. And there's something very critical to that. It's not just 15 years in the Department of Corrections. It's 15 years in the Department of Corrections, but it's predicated on something. And the consideration that it's predicated on is the defendant coming to court and accepting responsibility for her actions. For her coming to court and saying, I am responsible for George Torres's death.
Which she did not.
I accept the punishment that comes with it.
Which she did not.
That consideration was never given in this case. And because that consideration was never given in this case, the offer of 15 years in no way represents what this case is worth, or what George Torres's life is worth. That is an offer predicated on a particular circumstance, a circumstance of a first-time defendant accepting responsibility and giving every benefit of the doubt and coming to court and saying that they are ready to be punished. Those conditions were never met. So then we turn to this case, and we turn to this crime, and we turn to the actions of the defendant of taking the law into her own hands and murdering George Torres. She has never shown remorse for that.
Not one time.
She didn't show remorse for that here today.
Not one time.
She painted herself as the victim.
Yep.
Agreed.
She's the victim of George Torres. She recounted the litany of evil deeds and mistreatments that he perpetrated upon her. She's the victim of George Torres' family. She's the victim of police. She's the victim of social media. It's all about Sarah Boone. Everything's about Sarah Boone.
Yep.
About how she is the victim. But Sarah Boone sentenced every one of George Torres's loved ones to a life sentence.
Yes.
Just like she sentenced George Torres when he was in that suitcase.
Yes.
George Torres lived out his last nightmarish circumstance in that suitcase, begging to be let out for several minutes, which undercuts any argument that this was somehow unsophisticated. There was ample time and opportunity over and over for her to do something different. But she went forward with taking the law into her own hands and ensuring that George Torres was never getting out of there. While she went up to bed and went to sleep for hours on end. She can't say that she was in duress for the same reason. She was in such duress of George Torres that she goes upstairs and goes to sleep for 11 hours. Your Honor, there's been nothing from the testimony of Dr. Harper either that establishes any type of diagnosis that would give this court a basis to downward depart. Dr. Harper has put blinders on to the fact that she has been incarcerated for 58 months. 58 months with the opportunity to receive mental health treatment, and the expert witness is absolutely incurious about what any of those records or diagnosis or anything that would have been there would have said. There is no valid basis for a downward departure.
You can see she wants to punch her.
I agree.
Mr. Owens, response?
He wasn't getting paid anything for this, Kara. He's pro
Right.
bono as far as I know.
First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to hear our side, hear the
Yep.
witnesses, and review the letters on Sarah Boone's behalf. We've all been here for this trial. We've all been here for other trials. We've all got some age on us. We've all got some life experience on us. And this is a unique case. This was a unique homicide. It was a unique death. And as we all know, a lot of these cases are not black and white. They're shades of gray. And these crimes don't occur in a vacuum. That there's generally a history, especially involving a domestic couple, a history that comes into play that must be explored. And a lot of what Sarah Boone testified to here today probably happened behind closed doors. And we all know that many times we do not know what happens behind closed doors between a man and a woman in their home.
Neither do
unless
you,
there
Owen.
is some reason for the neighbors or law enforcement or somebody else to get involved. And that happened in this case. And so gradually over time, as this event occurred, there was an investigation, and it was learned that there was a history of domestic violence involving these two parties. And what we learned was that physically there was violence, and there were photographs to establish that, as were introduced in the trial. And then there was testimony from experts, not only the defense expert, Dr. Harper, that Sarah Boone was the victim, and she was a victim of intimate partner violence, but coupled with the fact that the state's expert testified on the stand at the trial that Sarah Boone was a victim of intimate partner violence, that she suffered from this domestic or this battered spouse syndrome.
No, she did not.
At the hands of George Torres.
No, she did not.
So there's two sides to it. And in a domestic violence
Unsubstantiated
situation
in
like
court.
that, 95% of the women get out of that relationship. When violence starts to occur, they've either been
95%,
raised
huh?
a certain way, they have a certain self-esteem about themselves where they refuse to put up with it, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that they can do better. But there is a small percentage throughout the country that for whatever reason, mental health issues, addiction issues, whatever it is, it's complex. Financial reasons, children are involved, whatever. If you do any studying on it, there are circumstances where there is a group of women, predominantly women, it can happen to men, but majority of the time it's a woman that gets caught in this cycle.
What?
Of what we term as intimate partner violence. And court heard the testimony about the cycle that occurs. It's over a period of time and it repeats itself, and you go through these phases. And a lot of times the victim's not a great historian at trying to articulate it. She tried to do it here today.
Don't you rat me out.
And I think on Sarah Boone's behalf,
that's an understatement.
She is a unique individual. She's got the personality that she's got. I don't know. You heard from Dr.
No
Harper
friggin'
that
doubt.
a lot of that was formulated based on the way her mother did not bond with her, the way that her father was, the way that he was, the fact that she lost several relatives at a young age, and the trauma that can result
Because life
You
happened to
heard from
her.
Dr. Harper that she
Because
did
life
suffer from
happened.
post-traumatic stress as it relates to that trauma in early childhood, and then again as it relates to the events that occurred between Mr. Torres and her.
Agreed,
So
Jenny.
it's complicated, Judge.
I'm
It's
sorry you had to
complicated.
go through that.
But the jury has spoken. Sarah Boone was entitled under Florida law to present that defense, and she did. That testimony was allowed to be presented. She was allowed to testify. But the jury spoke. And so here we are today with you in a position to decide what is justice for Sarah Boone. And I don't know you that much other than our time together, but
You don't know him at
from what
all.
I know you try to do the right thing. And that's what we're asking the court to do. To have some discernment, to have some understanding of the unique situation that Sarah Boone found herself in. And quite frankly, Judge, this all didn't occur behind closed doors. A lot of this was in the public eye. Mr. Torres had, I believe, 3 criminal cases before the courts of this county in which Sarah Boone was a victim.
I'm trying not to
Mr.
talk so
Torres
we can hear everything.
was the
I just wanted
accused.
y'all to know that.
Those cases were dismissed. We know from the history of this domestic violence field that that's normal, that Sarah Boone every time either tried to bond him out or tried to get the case dismissed. At some point, somebody has to stop. Somebody has to say, wait, what's going on here? This keeps repeating. It's going to get worse. Something's going to happen.
You're good, Sal. You're fine.
The system failed, Sarah Boone. I'd ask for you to consider that. The circumstances surrounding that failure and what led us here today. I've asked the court to consider a downward departure. I believe you've gotten a copy of the score sheet.
You're fine, Zaire.
Not
It's good that you
since
talk. I
before
was just
trial.
telling y'all why I was being so
Is the
quiet.
score sheet stipulated to?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, you may approach.
Because I could get in trouble, actually.
Thank
I
you.
probably should have been
Yes, sir.
pausing it.
Judge, I was provided that here today, and I believe.
I think you're okay.
I can't remember the total number of months that it involves, but divided by 12, I think it's 20 months. 20.6 is the low end of the guidelines or something about.
It's 246.0 months based on the score sheet.
I did the calculation, but I believe that the low end is 20 years. I'm sorry, 20 years, 20.6 years state prison, I believe is the low end.
Right, Cara?
20.5. Yes, sir.
As the court knows, I believe it's on page 3. There are some aggravators that the court can consider in opposing the sentence, and then there are a list of mitigators that the court can consider in downward departing, meaning going lesser than the low end of the guidelines. And in the defendant's motion for downward departure, we mentioned, and I had Dr. Harper testify about 2 or 3 of the grounds, and the court needs to only find one to go below the guidelines. The capacity of the defendant to appreciate the criminal nature of her actions and to conform said actions to the requirements of the law were substantially impaired. Judge, I don't have to reiterate the facts and circumstances surrounding this event. You were here, you heard the testimony, you heard the circumstances surrounding what happened and how it happened. I would ask that you consider that as a mitigator. 2D, the defendant requires specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is not related to substance abuse or addiction and is amenable to treatment. I think it's fair to say here that we know that Sarah suffers from some mental health issues, objective mental health issues that have been opined by Dr. Harper and Dr. Werner. And you heard Dr. Harper testify about the borderline post-traumatic stress disorder that she suffers from as it relates to this event, as it relates to her trauma that occurred in childhood. I think we heard from Dr. Warner. Dr. Warner testified that she suffered from the alcohol abuse disorder, as did Dr. Harper, but Dr. Warner also mentioned that she was not sure about the anxiety disorder, whether it occurred prior to or because she was in the jail for the 4.5 years. However, she does require specialized treatment for the mental disorder, and she is amenable for treatment. And then third, the defendant acted under extreme duress, I think based on Sarah Boone's mindset as she testified to her today, and then you heard from the experts at the trial that when you get that anxious about what happens, Sarah testified about they would have good days where there would be no drinking or very little drinking, and then there would be other days where there was heavy drinking. And generally when George Torres got highly intoxicated is when potentially things could get violent, and that she was constantly anxious about each day that she was with him. She loved him. Obviously, being in a cycle like that where you love someone but can't leave them. For whatever reason, George Torres couldn't leave Sarah Boone, and Sarah Boone couldn't leave George Torres, and it was a vicious cycle. But we believe that she qualifies under that it was under extreme duress at the time of this event.
Oh, bullshit.
And lastly, the defense was committed in an unsophisticated manner, which was an isolated incident. Now, isolated, we know, Judge, that she had one prior event in which both of them were arrested.
Isolated incident? You mean she hasn't killed anybody else before or after? Well, no freaking duh.
You heard her testimony that it was during an event. They ended up downstairs next to the washer and dryer, and that she was on the bottom, and she had used her hands to try to get him off, and she had tried to choke him, and there were some marks on him, and she was arrested for I think felony domestic violence battery, as well as he was arrested. I think a few days later, both of those charges were dismissed against either party. But she has no criminal conviction record. She has never been convicted of a crime other than that event.
She was never caught.
I think that can be
Right.
distinguished. So we believe that it was an unsophisticated manner. Obviously, the uniqueness of this event is unsophisticated. Anybody that would calculate that they were going to murder somebody by putting them in a suitcase and let them spend the night, and the next morning not try to dispose of the body,
She did.
not try to put the suitcase in a car and go dump the body, not try to dispose of the bat.
I forgot I changed my name.
She she tried to get her husband to dispose of the suitcase. You're lying.
Agreed.
She did nothing. No attempts to tamper with evidence.
She made no attempts
No
to call the
attempts after the
cops,
fact
to call
to
911
uncover
either.
any conduct
Until after what
whatsoever.
o'clock
No
in the
attempts to
afternoon?
delete
Stop it.
the videos from her phone. Here's my phone. Voluntarily giving that information.
Because she didn't remember
No,
they were
she
on
didn't
it.
have
To the
time.
unsophisticated
Exactly.
manner of
She
unintentional
didn't have time.
death that occurred. I remember the first time I saw the suitcase video. And I know people have differing opinions. Tony Henderson, my colleague, had a different opinion when he saw it. But I remember the first time I saw the video, and I heard what she was saying to him. When he was saying, "Hey, Sarah, let me out. I can't breathe."
Not what he said. Not what he
The
said.
way that she was talking to him and the statements that she gave him, in my mind, what has he done to her? What
To
has
deserve
he
that?
done to her? Any loved one you see in a situation like that is going to run and let them out. So my thought was, obviously, they were both
Look at
irregular,
them.
but
They're
what has he
hot.
done to her?
Yeah, they're
And I
rolling their
think
eyes.
it's
They're tired of
telling
this shit. All of them are tired of this shit.
about what she'd endured.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a clear-cut case, Judge.
It is a clear-cut case.
It's not black and white. There is some gray. And it's up to you to decide what's appropriate based on the courts, based on the jury's decision.
Look at the detective sitting there.
But I would
They're just
ask
like,
you
we're over
to
this
temper
after 5
whatever
years.
justice that you think is appropriate
Yeah.
with some mercy. And consider the fact that the state was willing to offer 15 years on a manslaughter as a lesser
Well, she
included
didn't take
offense
it.
based on the facts and
Right.
circumstances that they were aware of prior to this trial. Thank you.
Thank you. Any rebuttal by the state?
They're like, nope, she's done enough. I think we're good
Court has
on
had
this
the
side.
opportunity
yeah,
to review
sentence
the
this
evidence and
hoe.
testimony that was presented at trial.
Here we
The
go.
victim impact statements presented here today, the statements of character witnesses, both orally and in writing, Dr. Harper's report and testimony, the defendant's testimony, pre-sentencing investigation, the arguments of the state and the arguments of the defense. The court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the
Thank
Department
God.
of Corrections with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
No opposition, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you could please give us the credit time served and the court costs, please.
4 years, 9 months, and 8 days, and the court costs are $418, a state prosecution fee of $100, a dirt fee of $50, and a fee
I'm right.
So the total would be.
Oh, mama.
I feel so bad for her.
All right, ma'am, the court costs and costs of prosecution are $618.
I
Those
did-
will be liquidated to a civil judgment. You will be given credit time served of 4 years, 9 months, and 8 days. You will have 30 days from today to appeal the judgment and sentence in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. I'm going to have the courtroom deputy provide you the paperwork. Because you've been incarcerated for the last 58 some odd months, the court is going to declare that you are indigent in this matter. I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you as they are conflicted out. Similarly, I cannot appoint the regional conflict counsel to represent you for the same reasons. The clerk will appoint an attorney from the conflict wheel who specializes in appellate litigation. And again, you'll have 30 days from today to appeal that judgment and sentence in writing. Do you have any questions for me? You will now be remanded into the custody of the Orange County Jail to transfer you to the Department of Corrections, and I wish you the best of luck. State, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further? All right. Thank you all very much.
He didn't say anything about parole.
Court's off the record.
They're in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Florida, a life sentence is a permanent sentence that requires the individual to serve their entire life term in prison without the possibility of parole.
Good.
A person can be sentenced to life without parole if they're convicted of a capital felony and the court or jury chooses life without parole instead of the death penalty. So she is in for life. There's no reason to talk about parole because it doesn't exist there. Not for this
Good.
case.
Thank God.
Suck it.
100% of her court-imposed prison term in confinement. No opportunity to seek early release.
Good. Thank you for that.
She'll
information.
exhaust her appeals. We'll probably see her again through that, but
Did you notice that he was like, we can't offer you a public defender because basically, I don't remember what his exact words were, but basically you went through all of them. There's a conflict of interest.
she's indigent, so she can't have the same person represent her again because he's conflicted out. So it would be a
Right.
conflict of interest for him to represent her a second time.
Right, but he was saying it about all the public defenders.
That's funny.
Because she's went through all of them. Stupid.
Toxic, I read that. Now watch for her apples. She said appeals. I said apples. And that attorney's like, I'm out. See ya.
Yep. He is outie.
I bet
He's
she
like,
won't be minding being sodomized now.
Whoa, whoa.
Lord.
She's on her way.
Okay. Can you just give me a heads up when they get her here?
Yeah, I got you.
I gotta go down and see her real quick.
Well, that ends the story of Sarah Boone. I did put out the
Well, I
jail
bet.
records while we were watching.
Oh, I
What'd
can't
you
wait to
say?
see that. I said, I bet she's non-compost mentis now. Like she said in court. She says I was
Yeah.
non-compost mentis. No, she said that during her interrogation, which means not of sound mind. Non-compost mentis.
I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah, she's non-compost mentis, she said. She was hoping that she could get excused from like the legal responsibility of committing a crime while she was not of sound mind.
Yeah.
That's what she was hoping for. But she didn't get it.
Who the fuck is she talking to?
Just hold on. All you gotta do is sign. I'll help you.
She don't want to get up and go back to jail.
Oh, they've got to do her fingerprints before they. Do we know what the closest prison is to her? Like which where they plan on sending her? Have we heard anything?
I can look it up. Hold on, I can actually ask Google right now on my phone. What prison will Sarah Boone be transferred to? Okay, it's giving me videos. She'll probably end up at Lowell Prison for Women outside of Ocala, Florida. It does not have a good
Oh,
reputation at all, is what Reddit says.
okay. She'll end up in Laos. Well,
More than likely. So I wanted to let y'all know I'm gonna do my stream tomorrow, finishing up Paul Flores tomorrow. But Duchess is going live tonight at 8:30 my time. It's almost 4 o'clock here, so in about 4.5 hours, she's going live with the brother in that case. And so I will be there, and I hope to see y'all there as well. Because this stream is already what 2
almost
hours
3
and almost
hours.
5 minutes. Yeah. So I didn't expect Sarah to act a fool like she did. I should have known better. I should have known it was going to be some kind of BS. But so I was trying to push it out and have it today, but it'll be better for me to just put my focus all on that tomorrow, and we can go over what she talks about tonight. That's what the jail records look like that I just put out. And I just did it kind of quickly this morning so that it was out for you guys.
Oh,
I
good.
do want to talk about this post I made last night and a video that we're going to go over in it about what's going on in the mountains. Right here is the poster for Paul Flores so that y'all can see that. And I'll read it again for you real quick. Oh, Shaboogies left. Shaboogies, I didn't mean to kick you off.
She ran.
I hope she's celebrating. She's out getting her a drink right now. Paul Flores from Chemult, Oregon. He's 40 and he's 5'2" and he weighs 210 pounds. He has full sleeves as far as tattoos, a Raiders insignia on his chest. He wears glasses. He has a history of head trauma. Paul was last seen on July 21st, 2024 near Chemult, Oregon, when he was traveling from California to Washington to live and work. Paul made contact with people via phone that he did not know where his vehicle was and seemed confused. Paul walked 30 to 60 minutes towards the highway, and he texted his niece that someone was giving him a ride from the Pilot fuel station in Chemult back to his vehicle. His vehicle was later found on July 26, 2024 on an OHV trail north of Chemult, Oregon. There were no mechanical issues. Paul's money and personal items were found inside the vehicle. Paul was seen on video footage at the gas station talking to a man and a woman in a white van in the parking lot when a male in a white Camry with no tags pulled up. Paul walked with him to the Camry, got in the vehicle, and they drove away. Paul Flores has not been heard from or seen since. If you have any information, please call Klamath County Sheriff's Office at 541-883-5130, and it gives us the case number. Please do not call them with your thoughts, opinions, and speculations. You can discuss those here with us tomorrow. I wanted to play this video and talk about this. This is going to get onto a more serious note. Let me see what y'all are saying before we play that. So Trick Toxic said, oh my God, she writes a book. That would be funny as heck. The way she tries using IG words she doesn't understand, right? Yeah, I think the judge felt sorry for her too, but I'm like, damn, like really? She should have got more time. I mean, not more time. I'm sorry. She should have. Yeah, I don't know how she could have got more than life. I think it should. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
I'm sorry. That was cute. She got
I
life in
wasn't
prison.
thinking.
Yeah, I think she should have got more time.
Yeah, I didn't mean. I mean, I wasn't thinking. My mind. I'm all over the place right now in my head. It really upset me how she was talking crap about the family and stuff, and saying I forgive the family and I forgive him, and it just really irritated me the way she was doing that, and just the way she acted, and she's just so damn full of herself. She's a disgusting human being.
I agree. I was just giggling because we're all like, Abellis has been saying and she's going to go to jail for 673 years.
I hope so.
Oh, Lord.
I hope that I wish she could do 673 years.
We'll have to cover her notes of the after sentencing once we get those. And
welcome back to the channel, guys. We wanted to
babe.
come on here.
I didn't know that it was.
No, you're
play it.
fine.
I was just.
I said we were going to channel our inner Sarah with the notes after prison.
Yeah. I feel sorry for George for ever even meeting her.
Yes. Sure.
She was victimizing herself. She really was. Yeah, we were at least able to laugh at this subject. Yeah, I don't know how she could have got more time. I misspoke. That was funny though.
It was funny.
Life plus life after death. There we go. So this is going to talk about a situation that's going on in the mountains of the state I live in, North Carolina. I had talked about this. These families are suffering from the hurricane that swept through there, because hurricanes don't usually turn up and go through the mountains like they did. It's actually really weird. That's the first hurricane they've had in a like 50 years at least, I do believe. And it just caused so much devastation, and families lost their homes and are trying to rebuild. And there's a lot going on in the area that's stopping these families from being able to get any help, and they're sleeping in tents and actually freezing to death. And these ladies are going to talk about it, and I've linked this video in the community section where the poster of Paul Flores is. If you go there, you can get the link to this video, and they share in the description box, from what I understand, places that you can donate, that these families will actually get the items and things that you donate. Right here, Deep River Farm YouTube, Appalachian Navy YouTube, Appalachian Channel, Story Family of 6. Heaters needed, propane heaters with 10-foot hose and adapters. They tell you where to buy it, and then they need to be sent to Pastor Tim Clark, Bethel Westland Church, 901 Tracy Grove Road, Flat Rock, North Carolina. And that phone number is 828-489-1714. The Marshall Area Secure Winter Shelter for WNC Hurricane Helen victims. Western NC Holiday Hope, Thanksgiving and Adopt a Family for Christmas Relief. Edward Johnson Auctioneers, Cabins for Christ, Bald Creek Relief. Those are some of the places. And if you need that information again, find the Presley Girls YouTube. I've watched them for quite a while, actually. And the title of this video is Urgent Makes Us Mad Enough to Spit. They actually did a follow-up. They said some people got mad about this video. So we're going to watch this and we'll see what people got mad about. All right. This is not gonna be a funny video. This is gonna be kind of upsetting. It was hard for me to hear. My husband was watching it.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. We wanted to come on here real quickly and bring you something that feels very urgent to us. Something that honestly just really ticks me off. Things that I've been hearing pertaining to the fallout, what would you say, of
the devastation.
The devastation, that's what I'm looking for. The devastation that's impacted those affected by Hurricane Helene that is still going on. Currently in Western North Carolina, I'm sure there's parts of Tennessee.
There is parts of Tennessee that have been affected too. Bad Girl said they found a family of 7 trapped in their home and they had starved to death. Thank you. Zio dropped Duchess when we were talking about Paul Flores. Again, she's got a live stream tonight at 8:30. I will be there. I will be in chat. I will actually chat. I'm usually in the bushes of everybody's channels, but I will chat and I hope to see y'all there. And Zio dropped the Presley Girls YouTube channel if you want to give them a follow. They were trapped on a mountain and
see that are still really struggling.
And that's one thing, not to stop you there, but I know from other places, from Helene and obviously from Hurricane Milton. So we're not trying to take anything away from anyone. We're just talking about, I mean, we live in Western North Carolina. This happens to be in our back door. So that's just kind of what we're talking about here.
Of course, it's been very cold here in the mountains on and off. We've had a little bit of seasonable weather, but it's probably about to turn cold and stay cold because wintertime is coming. And these people are having a very hard time finding somewhere to reside, somewhere to stay. There are some organizations that we're going to talk to you about. We're going to put a link in the description below that are looking to help these folks. But I've been hearing tales from more than one source of situations like this. A family who loses their home, maybe they're living in the second story of a 2-story home because the first story is filled with mud and mold and probably is dilapidating out from under them.
So there's people that like have 2-story houses and where the flood waters rose up because a dam broke there and it, like, all the water, everything flooded. There was roads washed out. It was horrible. And so all this flood water came. And right now they're talking about like a 2-story house. These people are like in the house and the bottom is full of mud and just mildew and stuff. And you got to think all that stuff's sitting in the wood. So at some point it's going to deteriorate to where it falls and these people could die. But that's not all. It gets worse, unfortunately. Zio is dropping the addresses and information in the chat right now to help these families, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. 139 of 200 have been purchased so far. As soon as I can, I'm helping with this too, and I'll show you guys. As long as I can show you receipts where it won't give out any of my information, I will show you that I have done that, because as soon as I can, I'm going to be helping too.
And they are needing to have could be permanent, but probably a temporary structure, tiny home, camper, that sort of deal put on their property so they could move their family into it, have somewhere dry and warm to stay. And according to building code, the code office of whatever county it is, Yancey County, I don't know if it's Haywood County,
Haywood, whatever.
Whatever it is, Buncombe County, is telling them, no, you can't do that. That goes against the code. You cannot put a structure here. And these folks are in tents
and they're freezing to death.
32-degree weather, and they're freezing to death.
So these families are living in tents and freezing to death, and the county's telling them you can't put a tiny home or a camper on your property because it goes against code. So therefore, they're being forced by the county to stay in these tents and literally freeze to death.
So this is not a bipartisan issue. This is not anything other than these people are in desperate dire emergency need of warmth. So I'm a big believer of where there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm not personally there on the ground, but if 1/10 of what I'm hearing is true, that's ridiculous. It's shameful. It's inexcusable. And whether you want to, I'm about to done here. Whatever you want to believe, it's very clear to me that the government and nobody else seems to be stepping in here. It is individuals helping other individuals, private citizens helping private citizens with their resources. So we are going to encourage you to do that, because no big brother, nobody's coming to save these people, and they are in need. So it's going to be up to us to provide their need.
And that's why I wanted to share this information with you guys. From what I understand, there's already been an infant that has passed away due to this situation. Abellis, I don't know off the top of my head. It's a lot, because that hurricane came through and it tore up the mountains and part of Tennessee too. There's people there suffering too.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, you said it all. There's really nothing I need to say. That's why we wanted to make this video real quick. It honestly makes me mad enough to spit. I mean, that's
it makes me mad enough to do more than that.
It's maddening to think about. They're freezing to death. And when January rolls around and it's 30 degrees outside and you're in a tent and you have no clothes,
or 30 degrees.
Let me tell you, it's already. I'm not in the mountains. I'm probably 3 hours away, but I'm up north in North Carolina, so kind of on the parallel, and it's getting 20 degrees here every night, and will be until at least December 14th. It's already in the 20s at night, and I'm not even in the mountains. It's colder there right now. Like, it's weird, because it's usually not this cold. Like, it got this cold maybe 3 times last year in January, and maybe once in February, and that was it. We're in November and it's already down to 20. Like, it's weird. It has not been this cold at night in years here.
Denied, yeah, absolutely. And then that you have in that own county, well, sorry, that's just not up to code. It's profit over people. That happens so many times. It's profit over people. But
it's bureaucracy, it's red tape,
and it's all over people. But
it's a bunch of bullcrap.
What the main thing is we just want to share resources. But that's just incredibly frustrating. It's incredibly just crappy, shameful, awful. How you could lay down at night and do that to somebody, you know, you're gonna have to work that out yourself, because that's some bad stuff there. It's just so maddening, so frustrating. I just don't even have the words, honestly.
Well, and we understand that these instructions are coming. I understand they're coming from higher up, from said individuals who work in these code offices in these counties, but that you would be an individual yourself with a family and would be willing to say, oh, I'm going to make a phone call out here and say, I don't really care what happens to you. You're not doing this. You can't deny people basic needs for their children.
And what you said is the government, I mean, where are they at? And
that speaks for itself.
Yes,
I don't have to tell you what you should think about that.
Some of the resources that we're going to share, FEMA is there, but apparently all they're caring about is tree removal. They're not even helping people. So listen, Katie's about to talk to you about some resources that we're going to put in the description.
So I don't want to start any controversy or anything. And tree removal is very important. Okay. But I think like people staying in tents in freezing weather would be more important than tree removal, in my personal opinion. My objective with this video is to just show you how, because we need to come together as individuals and try to help. And I'm just trying to get this information out so that if you feel the need to give this season, since Christmas is coming, you have this option on your plate as well. I like I said, I will be doing what I can, and I will show receipts of that in a later stream when I have the money to help. I will be helping.
And then we're going to get off there. We wanted this to be short and sweet. The whole point of this is to share these links, and if you have anything extra, help these people. But listen, if you don't, your prayers are everything.
Yes,
Your prayers mean
they are
everything.
working.
So don't feel like you can't help. If all you do is pray, oh my gosh, that's huge. There's been multiple stories of, I mean, you know, God is moving, God is working. There's no doubt. This is not a video to doubt the goodness of God or anything like that. So you share the resources, and then we're gonna
pop off here. God is working through individuals, and that is how He is making channels for these people who are affected to get the relief and the help that they need. So those channels I want to talk to you about, one of them is Deep River Farm, something that he has shared. Again, have no fear. All these links will be down in the description, so you don't have to be like, Katie's going to talk really quick and I'm going to miss it all. No, you're not. That's going to be down here. This link, Deep River Farm. He is somebody that is working with the Bethel Wesleyan Church.
a man named Pastor Tim, and they are boots on the ground. They're a very swift, efficient organization, and they are getting into some of these areas where these people are freezing. So they have an Amazon wish list that is the easiest way to get things to them.
And he's basically saying it's just Mayday. They're freezing to death. The most immediate need right now is heat because these people are freezing to death.
On their Amazon wish list, you're going to see a categorization
Yes,
of most needed.
different. Yeah, you'll see something that says most wanted. And he also is doing the Santa Project, adopt a family. But listen, if you go and find, you're gonna find.
Oh my God, Abellis. Okay. Abellis just donated 100 Canadian dollars. I will translate that. I will switch that into American. And then as soon as I get paid this month, I will take it out of that and make sure that they get it. And I will give you a receipt or show you that I did that. And thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. I can't thank you enough. That is so sweet of you. I should get paid on the 21st or the 22nd. So I will make sure that I take it out of that and donate it. And I will show you, I will show you a receipt of that and then what I donate. No, it's not, it's not Abellis. I know. Thank you so much for that. And I will make sure to give that to them. I really appreciate you doing that, and they will too. And I will make sure that that happens. I will show you, I will provide receipts to show you that that happened. And I appreciate that. You doing that to help. I really do. That was so sweet of you. Thank you.
To find this stuff if you look at any of his videos, but the biggest thing is that heat because these people are freezing.
And that Amazon wish list has all those items. So that's going to be the link to his channel, and the link to that wish list will be down here in the description. There's been some other people doing some good stuff too. Of course, the Cajun Navy is still at it. Cabins for Christ, all that, some other things. We might not even, I'm sure we won't cover everything, but just
we'll put it in
browse
the
through there, give it a look. One thing we're going to put in there is I mentioned the Western North Carolina Adopt a Family Facebook page. That's there too. And there's the Burnsville kind of relief center at Bald Creek. Bald Creek is I believe that's a community center where they are staging to do the same thing for some of these people who are in desperate need of heat and other items as winter is coming on. But the hugest, biggest Mayday.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you guys. I will make sure to pass this on. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I will send them an email tonight and let them know that I will be able to pass this stuff on by the 21st of December, if not before. And I will show you guys receipts for that. If you guys want to, I would advise you to go through their links and to do it that way. But I'll make sure that you have a receipt for everything that you guys have donated. And I really appreciate that. And like I said, I will show you guys that every cent that you give me goes to that. Thank you. Wow, that's a lot. I'm going to email them tonight and let them know that this happened today, and I will donate it as soon as I can. Thank you guys. That was super sweet of you. Thank you guys so much. And I know that they'll be appreciative as well. That was so sweet of you. Thank you.
Day is the heat on this Amazon wish list. I know he also, if you want to make monetary contributions, I know he gives an address. So
Yeah,
you could also send money to continue to fund the operation.
And definitely, if you look there, and then on John Ward, that's his name, the Appalachian Channel.
That's gonna be his channel's gonna be a
he
link
talks
here.
about a man named Jake, and this man Jake, his excavating machine is actually in the shop, so he's been renting a machine this whole time. But he's cutting roads in there for people because the isolation, because of the damage to the land from the hurricane. And so there's a GoFundMe for him, and there's a real heartwarming video about that that we're going to share. We're going to share Mom's channel. Obviously, a lot of our viewers will know about that, but on her lives every Monday, she did one this morning. She's been sharing all kinds of information. We're going to leave in.
And Bad Girl, I knew that you meant North Carolina. You're good. Goodness, Abellas. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Like I said, I'll email them and I'll show them the stream, and maybe they know how I could get them get it to them sooner. If not, when I get paid for this month, I will make sure that I take money out of that and give you guys receipts to show you how every bit of what you have sent me goes to that. And I will be donating myself. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. That's amazing how you guys were able to come together and do that for them. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
info for that.
New updated information.
And so we're going to leave all of that information. And I mean, it's terrible. I mean, it's, you know, we think about it a lot, and it feels, you know, it feels like it's right in our back door. And you hear about the things, and you hear about the things with the babies, and you know, I mean, we've heard that one baby died because it froze to death, and you know, us.
That part is hard to hear. There was a baby that froze in these tents, and because of codes and regulation, they won't let them put a camper out there. I mean, my God.
Did nature have a code and regulation?
No doubt. Yeah. Did they? I mean, how many codes and regulations were broke when this hurricane came through? You know?
Whose codes and regulations are these?
Buncombe County. I'm thinking of counties up there. Probably Catawba. Boone, Buncombe, Boone, Catawba, all those counties and stuff up in the mountains. There's
They all
people.
sound just like her, don't they, Robert? They all sound just like allegedly. I think it's the cutest accent.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you.
Oh, bad girl.
Oh my goodness, Sarah, I was going to tell you that if you could just pray for them, that helps so much. Thank you, bad girl. That was so sweet. My goodness, y'all are really being awesome and amazing today. Thank you. I'm going to send them a copy of this stream and see if they have any idea of how I can get it to them any sooner. And if not, I will let them know that as soon as I get paid, I will take it out of that and give it to them. And then I'll give you guys receipts. Thank you. That is so freaking sweet. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Because you just terrible. I know. And I mean, it just breaks my heart, and it's awful. But listen, that the main thing is like, here's something that we can do. That's where we're putting our focus is. We want to share the information. We're so thankful to these other people sharing all this information because have you seen it on the news? The news and the government's not doing crap. So it's regular individual people, and
like I said, there is no big brother relief. There's nobody.
There's nothing like that coming.
There's nobody that has reached out. No arm of the government has reached out to say, let's do something. This is let's declare a state of emergency and let's get something done here.
And the sources,
none of that's happening.
The sources, you know, because I know, look, there's a lot of controversy with that. Yes, they are. No, they're not. But the sources that were.
Robert, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know about.
They're asking for. I was going to say they're asking for the propane heaters because a lot of them don't have electricity and running water right now.
Okay.
From what I can see, from what I'm reading, and that's what it says is that these right here, the heaters that are needed are for propane heaters that have 10-foot hoses and adapters to them, so that they're not burning down people's, you know, whatever is left of their homes and their spaces.
Right. We do have such a beautiful community, Sarah. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you. They will be so happy. I can't wait to send this to them and show them and see if there's a way for me to get it to them any sooner.
We're talking about are people that are actually there on the ground, and they're talking about what they're seeing. So we just wanted to share this, and if you have any way that you can help, any way to donate, and just pray. Your prayers mean absolutely everything.
God is making channels. He's making ways for this man to rent an excavator and be able to do some of the stuff he's doing.
And he's just one of many of doing all these things. So very frustrating. Makes us mad when you hear about all this stuff that's happening.
My neighbors, my family, people I know are suffering all the while.
When there are organizations and are people who could do something about it,
and they're just not doing it. I don't know. Like I said, it's not.
Rubber, I will if you want me to.
It's not simply a issue of politics. It's an issue of morality. So you're either going to help somebody who's in need when you know that they're in need, or you're going to turn your back on them. And you know, there's two kinds of people in this world, and I don't like to. I like to keep my personal life personal, but I cannot stand by while people are suffering and children are suffering, and nothing is being done. And so the only thing left to do, since
Rubber, let me try from my phone. Let me show you. I can show it to you. It's in the link of this video. Hold on. I'm going to try to do it from my phone because I might be able to access the live because it's been on for a minute.
What are we doing?
She's looking for the Amazon link.
Oh, for the heaters?
Yeah. Rubber was
Okay,
asking for the.
I'll drop it for you.
Okay, thank you, Zayo. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I got you.
I really appreciate that. You're such a great helper.
You're welcome.
The government or whoever you want to say is not going to do anything. These agencies is number one. Our biggest, strongest weapon is prayer, and number two, let's spread the word. Let's
Yeah,
continue
and let's follow
to
these
share
people
exactly who are doing all of this stuff. I mean,
and
because
help
we're not
lend a
out,
hand.
we're not able to be out there and doing it, but we can look to these people and say, okay, here's the links they're sharing. Here's
Right.
ways we can help. So we want to pass that on to you. We're going to get off here. We love you. God bless you. God keep you. Keep praying for these people, and we'll see you on the next one. We'll certainly catch you there.
Oh.
They're so funny. They do. That's what I watched, the Appalachian vocabulary test. I'll show you part of this.
One of the most popular features of my blog, Blind Pig and the Acorn, are the vocabulary posts that I share. Back when I first started in 2008, I started featuring each month. I would have an Appalachian vocabulary test.
Bad girl, that is so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. She dropped the link for some of the places in the description box so you can donate directly to them. I just want to show y'all a couple Appalachian words real quick. If she gets the girls on here. There they are. And then I'll show you some of the I'll show some of the devastation that happened. I don't want to keep y'all crying.
Around, and I'm going to give Corey and Katie an
my
Appalachian
goodness.
vocabulary.
We're going to fail. I'm not going to fail, but you're right.
All right, girl.
Thank you. Y'all got to stop. Y'all gonna make me pay my whole December payment. Thank you. Thank you guys. I'm gonna let them know that this is here, and like I said, try to see if I can get it to them sooner. I think Zayo dropped the link, so if you guys want to donate directly to them, you guys can. I don't want to see y'all cry. Don't cry. Thank you guys. That is so sweet of you guys. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. They will be happy to see this, and they can pass it on or let me know how I can get it to them sooner, or if anything like that can happen.
Girls, you ready for your Appalachian
I'm
vocabulary
out.
test?
I don't know. What if we fail this? This would look really bad if we fail this. I know. I'm just joking. I'm ready.
If you fail, you must clean off the garden and plant the turnips.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna fail this.
My kids in the garden, if they would get in trouble, I would make them pull weeds.
Cut the grass with scissors.
That spider over
Yeah, with some nail clippers.
Right?
there might get me. I do see. I was kind of watching him. Make it go away, KP. It'll get over here. I don't like it. It's one of the scary ones. Get a stick.
Hold
Stage
on
3.
then.
Husband, you was in
I thought they
Carolina.
might
You know
leave
these
from the
Appalachian
demon
words?
spider.
I don't
Where's
know
the
yet. They ain't
spider?
said any
They
yet.
don't even see it. Okay, you didn't get it.
I wanted to show y'all a couple Appalachian words real quick.
He just
It's a
swinging
spider
there.
in a spider web. I see his web right over there.
Now don't hit. What was that? Got him.
Okay, now that the spider has been taken care of, let's start with the first one, back set.
Can you use it in a sentence?
No, then I'll tell you what it means.
Whatever.
Back
Okay. To me, that means something like this. Setback.
Yeah.
It's a setback. It is. That's what I was gonna say. Back set. I was trying to mow the yard, but the lawnmower quit and back set me. No, I don't think it's that. I think back set must refer to like the position of something.
So a back set is if I'm sick and I have a cold and it takes me 2 or 3 weeks to get over it, and then I get over it and I think that's good, I'm all better, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to feel bad again, I've took a back set.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like what I said, setback. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. But
my kids were sick, and I think they're getting sick again, so they took a back set. Oh my goodness, Abellis. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that y'all better stop. Y'all gonna make me cry. I'm gonna make sure that they get it as soon as I can. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. You guys, I'm so thankful that you guys are so giving and kind to these people that are suffering so much. That is so sweet of you guys. I really appreciate you guys doing that for the people in this community that are suffering. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that is so sweet. Thank you guys. Oh my goodness. I gotta play this video. Hold on.
But literally the words are just
I don't
reversed.
think you got that one. Okay. Do you know what bait?
Y'all, that is so sweet. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. I know they're gonna be so happy. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to donate through the Amazon link. Don't send no more money. Mm, y'all are so sweet. Y'all are so sweet. I'm gonna get this over to them as soon as we here in just
We
a minute.
believe
I'll get
you. We believe you. We know you will. We believe you. They for everything that you guys donate when it comes through, she'll make sure it gets up there. I know you will. They know you will. That's why they're doing it. And it's
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. $550 is such now of course YouTube does take its little piece of the pie or whatever, but whatever's left over will go straight in that bucket and these people are going to be so happy.
No, so I'm gonna so I think this payment would be in January. So what I'm going to do is as soon as I get paid for December and I have that much money, I'm going to take all of that and put it towards this and give you guys your receipts for everything. And then I'll add some of my own to it as well. And then I will in January, then when this money gets paid, it'll replace my December paycheck. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put the whole amount. Like everything that y'all have put here, I'm going to put all of that with it. I'm not worried about what YouTube takes. I'll make sure that all of it goes to them. Because I don't want to wait till January, so I'm just going to take it out of what I earn for December. And then if I have to add a little bit of, money from that, I'm going to add a little bit of what I can from my household to it. And then, in January, it'll replace what I got paid for December. So, and I'm going to give y'all receipts and I'm not worried about what YouTube takes. I'll cover that. My goodness. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you guys. They're going to be so happy about this. I want to get it to them sooner. If they know of a way I can get it, like if I could get it to you sooner, if there's some kind of way I can put it in that it's like for a donation and YouTube can send it over to them directly, I'm going to try to do that. If not, it'll be the 21st, which is, I'm looking at my calendar. I think about two or 3 weeks away. So, yeah, I should use Venmo or Cash App, but my part of my YouTube chat, sorry, I'm a little choked up. Part of my my thing about my YouTube channel is that I don't ever want to drop a Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. But maybe I can make something up for donations if we ever have a situation like this or something and we need to do that. So we'll figure out something. I'm going to email them right after this stream and get with them and see if they have any ideas or if the people like the pastor at the church or somebody like that knows of anything that we could do.
Is
fish bait. No, to me, I'd be
right,
like,
Trixie.
This person has information and I need to know what it is. So I'm going to bait them in with whatever I'm going to tell them until they tell me what I want to know.
I need like one of those things that go, so you both belong.
Buzzer.
Yeah, buzzer.
That's what I'd say,
So,
bait.
Bait. In Appalachia, bait is used to describe a large amount of food.
I just think some of this just ain't true.
I've
never heard that.
Heard your daddy say he wants a big bait of fish or a bait of deer meat?
Yeah, I guess, but I think I would say whatever it is somebody has that I want, I'm gonna bait them in so they tell me what I need to know.
I'm with her. I would think bait meant like I'm gonna bait you in and tell me what I want to know instead of like a large amount of food. We'll do one more.
Do you know what an old biddy is? What an
old lady.
Okay, you got
Yeah,
that.
an old lady. I thought it. Well, is it? No, I guess it's just an old lady. What do they say for the people that never married? Widow? No, that's if you die. Them is something else. Old something.
Spinster.
A spinster. Or a spinster. Okay.
If you're biggity, what are you? Biggity.
Biggity?
Mean? Bragging? You like to brag?
Bragging. Corey got that one.
I'm smoking you, Kate.
Okay.
So old biddy is a old lady, and braggity means that you brag a lot.
Okay. What if you use what does it mean if someone blows in Appalachia?
It means they're talking big about stuff that they do. You suck.
me-
I win. You don't let me have a word
All
in
right,
edgewise.
let
Turn up
Katie
by
answer.
yourself.
Katie can answer this one. What does bumfuzzle mean?
Bumfuzzle?
Bumfuzzled means that you can't figure something out, that you're confused.
Right.
That was the easy one. Your whole life is like that going on.
All right. So I thought y'all might like that bumfuzzled.
That's me.
Few words. Those words, the Appalachian vocabulary test. I hadn't realized I hadn't subscribed to them. I think that's funny. I love it.
I live bumfuzzled.
I'm not trying to make y'all upset again, but I wanted to show y'all where this road washed out. I was like, oh my God. During this hurricane. It's probably going to show me a bunch of stuff. I can't play in 60 minutes. There's some of this stuff. Hold on. They had oh my goodness, what is that word? They had a video I saw where it shows that it taking the road. That's probably where the dam broke. I'll show you this real quick.
A flash flood from Hurricane Helene engulfed a neighborhood in Sugar Hill, North Carolina.
My car's gone.
A flash flood from Hurricane Helene engulfed an.
Okay. I was trying to look for that one where it does the road, but here's I mean, you can just see there. Oh my God, the house is floating away. It's horrible. And that's a road right there. So that's some of it. I'm not going to keep going. Y'all keep donating. I'll have to come up with more money. Here, I'll play this one real quick and then then that'll be it for me. Y'all got me all choked up. It was bad, this hurricane.
Search crews are combing through the remote mountains in western North Carolina, hoping to locate those still missing and those in need of supplies. Teams from across the country helping with those search and rescue efforts. Private helicopter companies
I'm glad that they came out to help, but I'm upset that these people aren't getting the help that they need and that there's people in tents that are literally freezing to death.
stepping in to deliver much-needed aid, including food, water, fuel, and over 100 donated Starlink satellite units.
We've just been distributing them to local fire departments who we know have been isolated with no comms, and it's fantastic.
In Asheville, the North Carolina National Guard working nonstop to deliver supplies to residents. ABC.
Now, I don't want to start a fight. I don't want to start a war or a big controversy, but there's rumors that some of this stuff is being put in warehouses and they're not getting it. And I can tell you what I've heard, but y'all gonna call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'll tell you a story I've heard about it that kind of makes sense if it's true when we get done with this video.
ABC's Morgan Norwood is there.
These guardsmen have been working round the clock to help get aid into the disaster zone, but with so many roads closed, there's only so far they can go.
Duke Energy says they have repaired more than 1 million power outages in North Carolina, but about 170,000 customers in the mountains are still without power.
We're committed to.
Yeah, it's best to donate direct, and thank you guys for donating. I appreciate that. And like, I know I've said it over and over, but they'll get it. I'm going to make sure of that.
Continuing safe restoration until everyone's power is restored.
Duke says they're dealing with unprecedented damage.
Think about where power lines are normally located. There are easements along those roadways. Those easements are gone.
This substation in Swannanoa buried under the debris.
If we go down a little further, you see an 18-wheeler cargo container wrapped around one of our transmission towers.
Much of the small town about
That's one of the roads that washed out. I think I saw the video of this, and you see the water coming through here, and it just washed out the entire road right here.
20 miles east of Asheville washed away, homes flattened, businesses destroyed, roads impassable. FEMA has launched a webpage dedicated to pushing back against misinformation about the federal government's response to Helene. The agency tackling rumors like one claiming it doesn't have enough money for disasters, which FEMA insists it does.
Well, I'll leave that at that. From what I understand, FEMA was giving families $750, like a family of like 6, to figure it out, basically. Did you want me to put this up, love?
I
Zaya?
just wanted you to play something funny before we left.
Okay, I'll play that in just a second. I've heard
You're
that.
fine.
So, I mean, I'm not trying. I don't want y'all to think I'm a conspiracy theorist, okay? But I've heard somebody state this. There are lithium mines in Browns Mountain, North Carolina, which is in that area. And the government had been trying to buy Browns Mountain, but the townspeople won't sell their land. They won't give their land up so that the government can have this lithium mine to mine the lithium out of the mountain, because they need the lithium for like the batteries for electric cars and things like that. And evidently it's like the mother lode of lithium. Okay. And right after I heard that, it wasn't like a week later, the hurricane went through the mountains and right through that area. And hurricanes don't cut up and go through the mountains like that. And the area it went, ironically, is the area that the government is trying to get the lithium from. So, oh my God, Hello Kitty. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll make sure that they get that. I know I've said that, but thank you. And like I said, I'll make sure they get all of this. And there's ways to donate if you go. Zaya's dropped it in the chat. Y'all got me stuttering. Got me choked up again. There's ways to donate. She's dropped the ways to donate in the chat. And if you go to the videos, the girls talking that I was playing, there's links there as well. So back to, thank you, Hello Kitty. I really appreciate that. So anyway, so what I've heard is basically the hurricane went right through where they're trying to get the lithium out of this mountain. And then okay, I don't want to upset anybody, but it's being rumored that basically the government wants to starve them out. They want to make it to where they can't live there anymore. Therefore, they could have the lithium in this mountain and mine it. And supposedly, like, they're not giving people supplies so that they have to leave. And the people are staying on tents and things on their land so the government doesn't go in and take their land, is what I've heard. Now, again, that could all be a big conspiracy theory. I don't personally know. What I do know is that I've heard it in a lot of places that people are donating to FEMA and to all these government agencies and all of that, and people aren't getting the stuff that they need. That's all I've heard. That's all I know. Personally, if I'm going to donate to somebody or something like this, I'm going to do it to a local church. That's the best way to do it. Buying, toys and stuff. There's trees at every Walmart you go into, the angel trees. You can get a name off of those trees and donate directly to them. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather donate directly to the person instead of through a government agency, because even at best, even if they are giving it all out, a portion of that has to pay for what they do, which is completely understandable. They're working their asses off, a lot of them, but I would rather my money just go fully to the person. And there's a lot of good people that work for these agencies that get a bad name because of the rumors and things that are going around. So again, it could all be misinformation. I don't want to talk bad about anything either at the same time.
So,
Okay.
so far, 6 people were shot, 2 fatally Monday afternoon inside a home on Chicago's southwest side. That's what they're saying.
Oh my God. Where is
Yeah,
that at?
it's live. It's happening now. I
Let
can
me
give you
see.
the link. I'll put the link in your back chat.
Oh, thank you. I'll pull that up. I was going to do it on my back. On my back page. Not my back page. Oh, Lord. I didn't mean to say it like that. Yeah, I don't have a back page. Okay. I'm going to be flipping back and forth. I won't be able to see the comments. I'll watch it for a second and then I'll have to go. Let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube real quick. Because mine, when I do it on this, it doesn't like to load.
Uh-oh. See if there's one. Oh, there it is. Did you find it?
Oh my goodness. It's not wanting to load. I closed out of that one. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I was trying to pull it up on YouTube.
I forget you work on that.
Easy.
No, I don't want you to
Chromebook,
get no
yeah.
9.3 earthquake. Ooh, that's scary sounding.
Who's getting an earthquake?
We don't want them to get one
Okay.
anywhere.
No, we don't. All right, so it doesn't have any volume
Yeah, it's live. This is
that I can
raw,
tell.
so
Okay. Man, so you said there was
let me go
how
back to
many
that.
did you say?
What I pulled up. Let me go pull that up. Okay, it says 6 people were shot. 2 of them were fatally shot Monday afternoon inside a home on Chicago's southwest side. CFD, or I guess the Chicago Fire Department, was called to the scene just after 2:10 p.m. for multiple people shot. 6 people were shot. 2 were pronounced dead when emergency crews arrived. 3 people are in serious to critical condition. 2 were taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center and 1 to University of Chicago Medical Center. Officials did not provide any other information about the victims, and it was not immediately clear what led up to this shooting. Chopper 7 is over the scene. And there's a massive emergency response in the area. Roads appear to be blocked off. They're expected to give an update later today.
Oh my God. This is awful. Bellis, if a hurricane hit, love, I would come up there and help you. I would come up to your house and help you clean up personally. I was talking to my landlord. They're from Canada. And I was telling them about you. I said, my friend on my YouTube channel, Bellis, is from Canada, and she talks about it all the time. And she said, my friend from Canada, when I went to the craft fair, she was with me. She's the one who painted my face. And we were standing in the breezeway of the building. So like, it was like kind of like a restaurant. So it was like you know how you have the front doors that you walk in, and then there will be another set of doors that you walk into, like a restaurant type area. It was like an overflow restaurant area that we had this craft fair in. And we were in the section in between the doors to outside and the doors to like the little restaurant looking area. And I was freezing the whole time. And she was like, I'm over here about to sweat. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't make it in Canada. All of us, like from North Carolina, everybody was like, oh my God, it's so cold. And she was like, I'm about to sweat to death. I was like, y'all Canadians are something else.
I brought my New Yorker down to Texas for his first summer a couple years back, and I thought he was going to hyperventilate every time he opened the door. I felt so bad for him. It was
Aw.
116 on a good day that summer.
Wow.
They
Hello
haven't put
Kitty.
out any update yet, bad girl.
Oh yeah. Hello Kitty. I know you dropped that and then rolled out. I just wanted to say thank you again for that. You say God keep them and God bless them. Thank you for that.
Lurking and working, Kitty. Lurking and working.
I think Tiana was too. There's a couple people in here lurking and working. Yeah.
Texas heat is sweltering.
Yeah. I went there. I went there once. I rode through Houston and they were going to San Antonio, the people that I was with. And like we came from North Carolina, but we stopped at gas stations or whatever here and there. But like it was like here it's hot like humidity. There's a lot of
Oh.
humidity. And there when I
Looks
got
like
out and
family just got on the scene. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I was
oh
watching
no,
that.
you're good.
He was talking to
Oh
that cop.
no.
Anyway,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry. Go
God.
back to what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying, like in North Carolina, it's like hot and humid. And when we got out in Texas, I was like, the air is so dry. It's weird. I can't breathe. It's a different
There's
type
no
of dry.
no humidity whatsoever. My mama used
Yeah.
to say in December in Colorado, you could go up there and you could wear shorts, in the middle of winter because you go up there and it's just a different kind of cold. You try to do that down here in Texas, put on a pair of shorts in the middle of February out here, you're going to freeze.
Oh wow. See, that's what's weird about the temperature too. Going back to like the people in the mountains, like it's 20 degrees here at night right now. And usually we're wearing shorts until like the end of January, beginning of February. So
Mhm.
it's really weird.
I'd rather be cold than hot any day, but of course I'm in my 40s and probably going through the change of life or something, who knows.
Yeah.
Who
I'd
knows.
rather be cold than hot too. But I want to be cold and able to get warm, like have blankets or jackets or gloves, things like that. I couldn't do minus 40, Abellas.
Nope. I'm staying home. We changed our mind. You keep your earthquake and your temperatures. No snot nose.
Yeah, it does.
Gosh, there's so many people.
Yeah.
If I can read any update.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to go soon. It's almost 5 o'clock. I gotta make dinner.
What are we having?
Probably burgers and fries, but we don't eat out, so I'll make them myself.
Yeah, I'm making tacos.
We had taco salad last night because it was quick.
Again?
Yeah, it was
Yum.
good. I had to go to the store and it was quick and easy to make that. And, um, so we had it last night. We like taco salad. The kids love it.
Heck yeah.
Hello Kitty said,
Let's see.
snow on the ground in my yard here in the mountains of Utah. I think it's pretty out there in Utah too. I want to go. I tumble rocks a lot, so I'm like really into rocks. I want to go rock hunting there.
You make this city girl sound so lazy. Like she's out
Oh.
tumbling rocks, hunting mushrooms, tipping cows, all that stuff. And here I am, like, yeah, what is your life? I have parasocial relationships on YouTube. This is what I do for a living.
I got to get more focused on my channel. I've got so many videos I need to get out.
I can't wait to see all of them. Okay, it looks like it says shooting occurred near the intersection of West 59th Street and South St. Louis Avenue in the Gage Park neighborhood. Although the police would not confirm how many people were shot, to this point, it seems like we've got that now. Police scanner traffic and multiple reports suggest at least 6 were wounded, and the circumstances of the shootings are still not being released. So there we go. Okay, play my happy outro so I can leave you alone. I got some witty things to say about the Sarah Boone, but you already done trifled onto 14 other subjects. I was gonna say justice finally zipped itself. I'm sorry, into the Sarah Boone case.
You're good. I'm gonna play your outro and then we'll do our dance song. And yeah, I'm gonna go for today too. I've got to figure out. I gotta get with those girls and figure out what we can do with all of you guys' love that you sent through the chat today. Thank you guys. All right, I'm gonna
Stay so curious and compassionate. I'm really, really grateful for you, allegedly. Thank you so much for allowing me up and allowing me to spend time with your speculating family.
Yeah, you are part of the speculating family. Thank you for coming up.
Don't squish the basil.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questionings if you wish. All right. You good, dude?
That is so funny. Zio plays that a lot.
Have a good day, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up, love. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. I will the basil at Bellis. I will give him lots of love and kisses. He's over here asleep. He's laying out on the bed on his side asleep. He's so cute. Well, I love y'all too. Y'all are so amazing. Please continue to pray for the people in Tennessee and North Carolina and all of that, and the victims in today's cases, and pray for Georgia's family having to sit through and listen to Sarah spout off all that nonsense about forgiveness. She needs a good swift kick in the arse, in my opinion. Please pray for Chicago and those people. You guys are amazing. Zio sent a heart, and Abella said that allegedly speculating, you're amazing. And to that, I say, you guys are amazing. I can't believe how much love y'all poured out today to these families. It's amazing. And I can't wait to get it to them. Y'all are so amazing. Yes, Sarah has gone to her forever home. Bad Girl said, thank you, Zio and AS. Zio said, consider coming by and hitting the like button for our dual stream. And that's Zio's channel. If you guys are not subbed to her, please sub to her. I don't know what he was on. He was on something. Yes, all the love and hugs. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Y'all got me all choked up in here today. I really appreciate that. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue our talk. Oh, please go see Duchess tonight at 8:30 as she continues to talk about Paul Ferguson, and we'll continue our coverage of that tomorrow. And thank you guys. And I will be there in chat. I will talk. I'm usually in these chats, but I don't talk. I will actually talk tonight, and I hope to see y'all there. Bye. Thank you. Thank you guys again. Thank you. And bye.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should